Welcome back to the table, Junior Detectives. We're here to roll dice and hopefully not stay unconscious as I am currently.
Yeah, this poor boy got himself knocked down, but...
I got smushed by a monkey.
But in some weird fucking crazy way, we got the good ending.
And I saved Patty, and it's funny, I was like the last one to choose who I was going to talk to, right? And I was going to go for Oscar. I was going to talk to Oscar, and then something in the back of my head just kept being like, Patty seems lonely, you should talk to Patty. So like, fully fate, just, she should be dead.
She was also brought up a lot by the other NPCs that we did talk to.
There have been a lot of mentions to other NPCs by a lot of them, which is essential for a clue board mystery.
Dum, 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 dum.
All right, well, speaking of which, before I go ahead and bring you guys back over to the map, I hope you all have remembered or got some notes written down of your favorite NPCs.
I used to. I'm not sure where my notepad went, honestly. But hey, that's the art of Blugen.
Patty is my favorite NPC.
No, it was just like the list of characters, but it's not in my...
Oh, boy.
Paper.
That's playing on my end.
Do I still have paper out there?
Yeah, it might be on the island.
1 second!
I thought you were playing the Overture to Cats for a second, and I was furious.
There we are.
If anyone could hear that, did that not sound like the Overture to Cats the first, like, 3 seconds?
Are you blind when you're born? No.
These, so yes, there were papers out there, but these in fact are not the ones that I was looking for. This is actually a script.
Okay, I just remember seeing something that said Blugen out there.
Yeah, that was my character sheet.
Are you looking for like the
just a list of characters? But I have a pretty good memory.
I keep all my
You know what?
in a central place.
We'll put that to the test.
Yes, we
I was about to be nice and give you some paperwork, but fuck that.
Don't even worry about it. Blugen, all concussed up and everything. He's ready for this.
He'll remember all the characters. Mark my words.
Every single one.
I have the memory of a goldfish, so together we equal a regular person memory.
Yeah, perfect. It'll be great.
We're doomed.
Just a quick announcement before we get going. I know next week we're going to be taking a break from this campaign because you're going to be spending some time with your lady for your anniversary.
Yep.
We will be doing another Halloween one-shot that I'll be hosting. We'll be joined by Ed Bosco, Caitlin Elizabeth, and our good friend Martin Little Crebo Billany. And it should be a haunting good time. So tune in next week for that, where we'll be doing some monster stuff.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
Can't wait to hear Martin's new character introduction.
I'm very excited with what he's got planned.
Sick.
It should be a pretty fun cast. Currently working through how I group all of them together exactly, but hey, we'll figure this out.
Well, I mean, how the fuck am I gonna group together a cartoon character, a human, and a dragonborn?
Oh yeah, well, I decided that I was his curse.
Yep.
And we decided that Kyle was an intern.
Yeah,
So
Kyle's the extra meat.
meanwhile, the motley crew I have to group together. If you'll recall, the first Halloween one-shot that we ran, I had to group together a demon, a mad scientist, and a quintessential 1980s slasher
Monster,
villain.
yeah.
So I'm doing that again with another set of monsters.
With a twist.
Yeah, it'll be interesting for this one.
Alrighty, so when last we left off, our heroes, a lot of them got to be introduced to some of the folks who work at the lot, had some quick time to talk to everyone, spoke with the dead, and made a giant mess in the bathroom that now someone has to clean up.
Poor Zap. Poor Zap.
We have not been introduced to a janitor yet, so yeah, Zap.
I mean, that also could be Mitzi's job since she's an usher.
Poor Zap.
Oh, man. So after communing with the dead and finding out that their poor sap of a victim was killed by some kind of giant blunt instrument.
He never saw it coming.
Nope, exactly. He actually never saw it coming. Bringing everyone back in, they all decided to ask their questions. The owner of the place, Ford Money, decided that everyone's got at least 24 hours to figure out what the fuck they're doing before he has everyone vacate the premises so he can continue on for setting up for a movie premiere coming up soon. And that left everyone to their own devices to speak to people, leaving which that they actually spoke to Patty Fizzgig, who said for them to meet her in the storeroom. Upon doing so, they found out that the storeroom was actually barricaded and was infested with running gags, defective ones at that. So after a small fight of a bunch of mischievous running gags, minor mimics with a very low bar sentience,
As we found out.
yep, have possessed a bunch of the props inside the room. Patty actually helped out at the last minute, which was kind of crazy because she was actually supposed to be destined to die above game. Good job, Kyle.
Not on our watch.
And with that, we have left our heroes to their devices, as I will bring you back to the map, and I will put on the lot music. Let's put on instrumental. Bring our players to the lot.
And I will find us.
You should be able to like back up and scroll down.
Here we are in the void.
The lights were off.
There we are. Oh, we're here again. So yeah, oh good, I'm glad you left the X there. Blugen lays there, hands across his chest, Flower is just sitting there, X's in his eyes, tongue sticking out.
Well, they decided that getting you some medical help might be the better scenario in this case, despite Belghast's huffs and hooves about that.
Oh no, I mean, Belghast was the one that dragged him out. It's like, this never takes, it never does. So he just like wrapped his tail around Blugen's foot and dragged him out.
As
You can
that,
sleep it off, honestly.
as that occurs, Patty says that she'll go ask for help. She finds the 4 folks on your left there to assist you. You are all taken actually to, let me go ahead and hit tokens.
Bite Size saved me, she does care.
She's at the back of that line.
She does care.
Go ahead and scroll yourself back up a little bit because the only medical equipment they have as of current is in the security office.
Hilarious.
Let us reveal area. Please reveal. There we are.
Just bite size with the sunglasses looking the exact opposite way is also very good. Just like, I don't even...
So with that, they drag you in here. Bite Size just looks at the fucking knocked out character before her. Pulls out a defibrillator.
I took like 5 steps back.
She doesn't even say clear. Right on his face.
That's about what I was thinking.
And you're back up to 1.
So Patty,
I look her in the eyes. You saved me.
She punches you, you're back out again.
X's in the eyes again.
Ah, jeez.
Clear.
My angel.
She looks at the pillow you're laying on and ponders.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm gonna drag Blugen just a couple steps away.
I'll never forget this.
At this point, you guys are allowed to take a short rest if you so desire. So you can regain your
I
health.
think 1 hit point's fine. I just...
So Patty, who else has access to the running gags?
Well, before
I
that...
say as I'm just...
Well, before all that happens, Arden, Detective Mancatcher, and Brother Kilroy were actually all there to help assist you as well. Because now they're kind of sitting there going, like, what the fuck just happened? There was an attack. Like, obviously they want to be brought up to speed.
How many of my hit dice can I roll during a short rest?
As many as you want.
As many as your level per long rest.
Where's the other D8?
Are we all taking a long rest?
That's up to you.
You can take a short rest if you want. Shorts are you roll your hit die as many times as you want per your level. So you could do it 5 times if you wanted.
So you have 5d10 to roll, and for every d10 you roll, then you add 2, and you heal that back.
I'm dumb. Is this a 10? No. It's
That's a 12.
Still have 1 remaining.
It looks like this one.
Oh, cool. So we roll this. Sorry, how many?
It's got like
How
percentage.
many
you
times?
can roll it
so-
up to 5 times.
Up to 5 times.
But you
and
don't
that's
have
how much
to
you
roll
and
it
that's how
5
much you
times.
heal.
Okay, I should heal.
I made it almost back to full with like 4 out of my 5. So
Okay.
So that's 8 and 9, 17 total.
I'm just sucking on a juice box. All my spell slots are back too. Warlock, baby.
Warlocks, boy. Oh, let's go.
Does my superiority die replenish?
At a long rest, not at a short rest. Oh wait, no. Does it say short rest?
I'm pretty sure maneuvers come back at a short rest. It doesn't say.
I believe they do.
I will open the book in a moment and we can find out.
I can do it. I already did my healing. Yeah.
Thank you. And I will do basic math, which will take me approximately 47 minutes.
Okay.
I
Well.
have a calculator. I'm gonna cheat. That's fine.
Okay. Well,
Calculator.
I believe it's again. I would do it on this computer, but it is slow as shit.
You're welcome.
Hey, it works for the map.
Yeah.
Pull it up on the monitor. Do math on the monitor.
Yeah, I'll just reveal everyone my secrets. But yeah, cool mystery, Zito. The killer's right here.
Tell everyone else to close their eyes.
The killer was in our hearts the whole time.
The butler did it. Okay, so
I gained more points. Does that mean I could go above my
You
maximum?
you hit your maximum hit points.
yep, if you can max out, that's it.
No, correct.
That would, if you went above, that would be considered temporary hit points, which is not what you're gaining.
Nah. Okay.
All right. So with that, well, that's being decided. At this point, everyone who's now around you is now like just wants basically
We
to
do
be
get
brought
them
up to
back on a
speed.
short rest.
Oh, cool.
Ah! Hell yeah.
The gags are defective. The studio has defective gags. You cannot resume production.
Arden just looks at you. That's gonna have to be marked off. We're gonna have to have a long talk with our friend Mr. Money. Where is he, by the way? Everyone kind of like shakes their heads, uncertain, because the only other person who would actually know that is Bite Size, and she was actually asked. Bite Size looks to Patty. Not Patty. I'm sorry. I have a lot of characters to work on. Arden, Betsy, and Kilroy, and she was actually asked to usher them to check out the surrounding area around the security office because they actually found more clues. Whereas Patty tells you oh god, Jesus Christ, my own fucking monsters. The running gags. There are defective running gags, but they're usually turned off or, quietly killed, euthanized.
Well, when the gag, so
I'll consider these ones euthanized, I guess. Not so quiet.
so the ones in the room, were they already identified as defective and someone switched them on, or is
It literally just happened. She has no idea, and also she can't verify that because you guys destroyed them all.
Well, they're... refresh my memory. The running gags that we destroyed, they kind of all leaked that yellow ichor, right?
Yes.
Well, they may have been destroyed, but there was that other little blobby guy that kind of ran away.
And don't you have an inventory of the gags you've already marked off?
Yes, I do, but that's one of the bigger problems. I was trying to reach the storeroom, but I can't. Someone put the vents on. And, fucking Bite Size looks at her. What do you mean the vents? Oh, well, I use the vents. I know the storerooms are usually locked off to reach down to the basement access because Mr. Ford actually wanted to lock them all down before the premiere happened so no one would meander their way in if they got drunk at the bar.
Well, how am I supposed to know what a TV dinner feels like?
So she tells you that she uses vents to actually access into there because she's small enough to get into it.
And this is Bite Size talking?
No, this is Patty. The goblin. She is telling you that she uses the vents to go into the storeroom, which is below them. There are other paths to lead into them, but they were locked down because the premiere's happening soon, and that was a precautionary measure so that no one who comes into the theater on the premiere meanders their way into it.
Well, I might want to make a note of that, because that makes it hard for you to do your job, which makes it harder for this place to earn money.
Are the vents still open, or are they closed now?
They're opened, but the problem is that the vents fans have been turned on, so I have no way of getting in unless I want to cut myself open.
Or break the fans, but that would also cost money.
There are 2 ways that you can actually get to the storeroom, though, through the vents. It's through the storeroom that you guys were just in, and there's one over by where the museum in the theater area is, because that also has an exit for the storeroom when they want to put stuff on display for the movie.
I mean, we could put Blugen through the vents.
It's true.
They could, but again, the fans are on.
I know. Put Blugen through the vent.
Bite Size looks at you. Yeah, let's put him through the vent.
I like that everybody believes in me. This makes me happy.
We could think more about it. I think there might be a different solution.
Trust Blugen.
What?
Arden kind of just like looks at you. Well, that aside, Miss Mancatcher, I believe this puts your worries about us at ease. To some degree, it does. After the fact that you have actually just saved an employee, that kind of leaves me out that you might be suspects for the time being.
Yay.
So these things were all set there to kill poor... Oh, no.
Well, I have no idea why they would be set to kill me. Also, all defective and turned off running gags are only able to be reactivated again with a certain code phrase, and only I have given those.
What's the
Who are
phrase?
you giving them? Who gives? Are they just? Do they come with the gags and you know them, or
no? I make the gags.
Okay, so you're the only person who would have the code phrase.
Yes.
You don't write them down anywhere.
No.
Does anybody else have access to these guys? Well, to what they were?
No, unless they were. I was the one who gives permission for them. I'm the one who works topside so that all these gags can actually be put out for display.
How many other entrances were there to that room? Because when we got there, the door that we went through was, kind of barred.
That's the entryway from the back of the lot area.
Ah.
There is a storeroom. There's like an open hatch that actually leads into a storeroom with a dumbwaiter that lifts props up to it, but it's covered by boxes back there.
So
It's
really,
not
the
that
only
dumb.
way in and out, aside from the door we've just opened, the only way in and out of that room is the vents.
For her, anyway, yes.
Yes. But I'm just any kind of access.
I'd
Only
use
the
all
vents.
of my might to open that door. I flex in front of Bite Size. Muscles deflate.
Yeah, she just like stares at you and just.
Everyone's asking very good detective questions, and Kyle wants to contribute in some way, so he raises his hand and is like, "Do you sleep talk?"
Why would I sleep in my own place of work? I have an apartment.
Let me tell you a thing or two. It's
Long nights. Maybe you said the phrases, and maybe they activated, or someone heard you say the phrase and was like, "I know what that is." Maybe you were like, "This is the phrase that makes all the box go crazy," and someone wrote it down.
On that same note, you may have answered this, I may have slipped my mind, but the yellow eye core, is that something natural to the gags, or is that something unexpected?
That's basically their lifeblood.
Okay, so
okay, because there's still one of those wandering around down there under the temple thingy.
I'm not going back in there.
I mean, the rest of them are dead. I think. Maybe.
She shouldn't go back in there.
They're all dead, right? I kind of blacked out at the last minute. Okay.
They
Well,
should be gone, but
They would have to make a perimeter sweep of the entire area to figure out if that's the case, and Patty does not want to go back inside the area that she almost died in.
Probably a smart idea in general, though.
Trauma is bad.
Well, Betsy was getting to the point where the fact that you were able to hold your own and actually be able to save one of the employees, I guess I have no qualms with giving you at least a little bit of info when it comes to pertaining to our case. We found there was artificial silver, hair. It's kind of weird. That was near the claw marks on the left back end side of the security lot.
Silver hair?
So
Yeah.
artificial in the sense that they would be in a wig?
In detective
Yes.
talk, it's fibers.
Kyle makes a note. Fiber.
It's not actual, real hair. It feels more like a material made for a costume. like either a wig or something of the sort.
And Marlowe was not wearing anything that would have that kind of fiber in it.
You would not. He was not wearing a costume at the time he was murdered.
And he didn't have silver hair.
No.
Good.
And fiber helps you poop.
That's true.
It does.
It does.
It's all coming together.
Just like the gears are turning in Kilroy's head, just like, what?
So, I wonder how the yellow is related.
Well, the yellow is basically the blood. It's almost the life force of the aberrations themselves.
But it can live outside of them, right?
What do you mean?
Well, the stuff that we found.
Also,
stuff-
zoom in on the map a little bit more.
The stuff that we found, I found just a glob of it next to a fully eaten candy bar and a half-drunk can of paint. I touched it and made friends with it. It was really sticky. I was gonna play a joke with it, but then, Belghast was Belghast. He threatened to hurt it.
Did you tell it anything?
Oh, I
Like
didn't.
Patty actually gets like right in your face, just like she's very worried about it. Did you tell it anything?
I told it to die. If that matters.
She turns and looks at you with like the biggest like the cat when it looks at a banana meme. She looks at you like that.
I only told it that it was safe.
If you want to
You
be...
gave it a purpose to die?
I told it
When
it
you're
was safe.
stuck to this thing forever, anything connecting you physically needs to die.
I told it was my friend.
So it's a dead friend now.
I mean, it could still be alive out there. You don't know that.
Oh boy, dead friends!
Which become toilet ghosts.
Oh.
Exactly.
The poop connection is lining up here, I'm seeing.
Which is why you should have eat more fiber.
Oh, fuck's sake.
This is one lumpy circle, but it's come full.
Oh, this circle has fucking dents and divots in it, but boy howdy, it still fucking works.
It's like Squidward's circle.
I feel like we're describing poop now. It's just,
Kyle starts scribbling out his notes, being like, I thought I had something, I don't know anymore.
So anyway, are you saying that this was essentially a new gag that was in the room?
Well, I think I also wasn't able to, get my point across about one other thing. The reason why I was back there was because I was getting the next piece for the movie. And it was supposed to be the gorilla suit, which is a giant four-armed silver-haired gorilla.
Well, I'm sure you could patch up that hole. But yes, I get your point. The gorilla clearly seems to have been used as a murder weapon.
Ah.
Which makes sense given what we saw earlier. Giant hands, squish head. That all tracks.
So the murderer is
So,
doing murder.
I look at
so-
Micron. Mystery solved.
well,
I do that with the most shit-eating grin on my face.
Steps on your foot while he's just looking at you with like a very casual smile,
Oh. All right.
so somebody made the gorilla kill the man. But wait,
Well, it's not meant to be run by a running gag, though. It was tailored to actually work for Mr. High Price.
Circling back on something you said, you said that if you talk to them, it gives them a purpose?
Well, yes, when you first make them, you have to give them a purpose.
Okay.
And
Wasn't the gorilla supposed to fight the king?
yes, but it was a costume, it wasn't a person.
But if you put one of them thingies in there and tell it that its motivation is to kick the crap out of the king, and it finds the guy in the back lot, then whoop-ah, dead man!
But if that purpose stuck, why did it attack us?
Did we fight the gorilla? I thought we just
You fought something that took the prop of a gorilla, not the gorilla.
Yeah, a gorilla, not a gorillin. Right?
Yes.
Because we fought like a
So
big old
the
regular
gorilla I shot and killed was not the gorilla with the silver hair.
No, it was not. It was just a
It was like a big
regular
old
ass-
Donkey Kong is what I
Yeah,
pictured.
yeah, basically a dude in a Donkey Kong outfit.
And feet was not the gorilla.
Poor feet. Rest in peace, feet.
poor
Rip in peace.
Rip in peace, feet.
Rip and torn. So were you able to see if the gorilla was in there before we had to leave?
No, because again, the access to actually go down into the basement was blocked off because the fans are turned on.
So the gorilla is not in that room.
No, it's not.
Okay.
She was going in there to find it in the first place because she remembers the night before the murder happened, she actually asked for it to be up there so Mr. High Price could get some practice in with it, but that never happened, so she assumes that whoever was working that night decided to put it back into the storeroom.
Could anyone else fit into the gorilla soup aside from High Price or a gag?
I'd imagine anyone who's big enough to do so, but that would mean Mitzi or Mr. Ford.
There's nothing.
Well, it sounds like the next thing we need to do is either, unless you still want to sweep for the clues in the security office, go find that suit.
Betsy gives in a chime on that one. I feel like that's something me and Mr. Kilroy here should get done. In the meantime, I'd actually like to ask the rest of you a favor. Go gather everyone else who isn't in the lot and bring them in.
If I might be so bold, that suit going missing, it's kind of important to our job too. I mean, we're here to keep track of everything.
Especially if the gags are already coming to life and killing people.
Well, at this point, I feel like we're all kind of like stuck into this, so we all have to work together on this matter.
It takes all of one person to go and say, hey, come into the theater, or is it the room?
The lot. The lot is below you. But the theater is on the other side. You haven't explored everywhere else.
So essentially, the room where Blugen had his big performance was the lot.
Yes.
Okay, so that's not a 3-person job.
No, but I also would rather people go in groups and not go single-handedly when there's someone who tried to kill people here.
Blugen, the copies you make can't travel far from you, can they?
By the designation of the spell, I don't think they can travel anywhere outside of a 5-foot parameter of me, but...
Oh, well, there goes the idea of giving you 3 Blugens to pal around with.
I wish.
Then I guess it makes the most sense to stick together in case another gag tries to kill us.
Then we will move everyone down. By the way, while this is happening, a good 20 to 30 minutes have passed. So...
Man, that concussion was crazy.
I'm trying to move everyone. Here we are.
It's very selective on when it likes to use the scroll wheel to scroll in, scroll up. It's weird.
Yeah.
Stop selecting me.
It's kind of bad. So everyone kind of like notices that Blugen's a little all like messed up. Patty's...
I'm fine by now.
Well, you know, you still got bandages and shit on you. Like, you're still, like, a wee bit banged up, but you're, like, you know, still standing and shit. Windows.
Come on.
This game brought to you by Windows.
Try clicking the window. Like, just the Roll20 web window. Yeah, I'll cover it up.
And it'll pop up that error message in a bit. But
I'm sure it's going to reset the Raspberry Pi sometime during the session.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Well, it'll try to.
Technology.
Yeah.
So everyone comes back. They're brought up. Basically, everything is brought up about what the fuck just happened. So, Mancatcher and Kilroy want everyone to stay in here while the rest of you go gather everyone. Though they stop and ask everyone, like, "Hey, so have you like noticed anything weird in the past like moment?" Roger remembers that he asked. I'm sorry, not Roger. It's Denton. Denton asked one of the stagehands to go in the back and get him a few bits and bobs for his costume, which also was a wig. Was a wig setup.
Was it a silver wig?
We'll get to that in a moment now, won't we?
What kind of wig was it, Denton?
Yes, it's a silver wig.
Aha.
Or, I guess, whitish wig?
A metallic sheen to
Make
it.
up your mind.
I guess.
That sounds like silver to me.
With that being said, everyone kind of turns and looks over at the person who was supposed to bring it, and that would be Danny, the stagehand who's on the left, the one who looks a little bit nicer than his kind of racist prick brother.
There it is again.
Well,
Yes, I wish to quit. It may take a few minutes to quit.
now I need to get the fucking list for me. All right. So the people who were inside the lot the entire time while this was happening was apparently Roger, Honey, Lena, Norbert, and Denton. Everyone else was kind of off during the entire kerfuffle you guys had.
So Norbert was the one sent to get the wig, or Danny?
Danny was sent. Norbert was the one who stayed inside the lot.
Okay. And has Danny come back?
He did.
Okay.
Yeah, he's right there.
He's right there.
Well, where's the wig, Danny?
He points over to the side. He doesn't speak. He actually points over to the side and shows that there's a wardrobe area. And the wig is right there.
I'll go investigate. There it goes again. Hide, please.
Hide. Don't even try again.
Something's wrong. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, it keeps trying to update Windows 10.
But it can't handle it because this thing doesn't have a hard drive.
Kyla's making notes, and he says, maybe the monkey didn't do the murder. Maybe someone put a wig on a fist and hit him real hard.
It seemed more like a squish than just a...
Maybe it was just a big fist.
Well, I mean, it's not impossible for a sketch to get
Betsy kind of just like goes, well, in any case, I'd like to ask everyone else like their own, like, basically their alibi to tell me where they were this entire time. Everyone kind of like mentions that...
Getting hit by a tree.
I think we're covered on that one. She just talked to us.
She like pats you on the shoulder. You're covered.
I just tremble a bit.
Kyla writes down, not impossible.
Everyone kind of like mentions that they were in here this entire time. Bite Size was here for the first couple of minutes, but then was ushered to the back of the lot so she could help out Mancatcher and Kilroy with investigating the side of the security lot. Danny is still not speaking. And Lena looks to the rest of you. Well, I kind of did see something. She like points up to this balcony where the glass is opening off to the side where the museum is. For the first couple of few minutes, I believe that Mr. Money was actually watching us, but I didn't want to make eye contact, so I kind of like kept my eyes away. But that was like, well, the moment you guys went off to the storeroom.
So you're thinking he saw us go to the storeroom, or was he just looking down at the lot at that same time?
I feel like he was just looking down at the lot. He was watching us as performers, and I didn't want to make eye contact.
Well, that's not entirely unusual. He owns the place.
So you just caught a glimpse, but so you didn't see him, you just caught a glimpse?
She caught his silhouette. It's very hard to see like the actual form of the person, but it's kind of hard to miss the giant, like 12-foot tall ogre man in glass.
Unless he has a twin.
Big fist.
Bite Size goes ahead and tells everyone, well, the last thing I remember about Mr. Ford about Mr. Money was that him and Mr. High Price were going to have a separate meeting today about negotiating his contract. Although in that case, she like pulls out like a small little like crystal and she starts talking into it. She like puts it to her ear. Zap, where the fuck are you? I'm nearby. I'm fine. What do you mean you're fine? Where exactly are you? You haven't answered my radio calls for the past 5 minutes.
Has he fixed the bathrooms yet?
The ghost got him.
No, I'm fine. I'm near the concession stand, ma'am. Everything's 10-4 over here.
I'll investigate. Concession stands are my expertise, after all.
Will the three of you want to go investigate that?
Blugen looks up at you with big...
Where's everyone else? Before we go to that, though, I'm gonna just continue what she's saying, though. Well, get your fucking lazy ass over here and get everyone else you see. Where's Roper? Oh, Miss Roper's, in the restroom, ma'am. Hurry up on the double. Get everyone else down here. We're trying to get as many people as you can as wherever you are and get them in the lot now.
So Danny pointed to wardrobe. That means wardrobe is somewhat pretty accessible from the lot.
It's the Norbert will tell you that it's the door, the furthest door on the left where the back area was, where the storeroom was.
Okay, so essentially it'd be...
Let me go ahead and reveal. So this room here, that's the storeroom you guys were just in.
Not the scale.
Many times larger.
Yes, on the left of that is the wardrobe.
Okay, I'd actually like to take a look at that wig before we go too far afield.
Danny, like, actually kind of, like, steps in front of you and, like, holds his hand up, like, please wait. And then he starts, like, making signs with his hand.
Comprehend languages isn't going to work with that, is it? Has to be spoken.
ASL? Why not?
Has to be spoken.
Yeah, Norbert kind of, like, chimes in on that. Yeah, my, brother's deaf.
Then can you translate for him?
Very mildly. I didn't really, like, study it all that much.
He's your brother.
We have other lives.
Okay.
I mean, I do think, like, he looks over at him. Don't you, like, know any other languages, Danny? Danny, like, kind of, like, taps his mouth a bit, and he just thinks up to the sky. He starts making this guttural noise, but it's very, very broken. No one else can seem to get it.
Hold on.
Everyone else around him is just like, no, we have no clue.
Oh, wait, hold on. Now that he's saying something...
He's speaking in Giant, and it's very broken.
But I can understand it.
You can understand it, but he's speaking Giant, and it's like, he's getting a syllable a time, so understanding him's still going to be difficult, considering the fact he doesn't know how to speak Giant.
He do caveman speak.
Yeah, it's like, he's like a quarter of the way into high school level Spanish kind of situation.
It's the literal meaning of any spoken language, so as...
Right, but again, you're getting half-broken syllables because even he is having a hard time figuring this out.
So the answer is no, he does not know other languages.
I'd rather not
How did he
have
learn
him...
Giant?
Well...
Wait, is he deaf or mute? Wait, actually, no, he has to be deaf because he was trying to talk.
Yeah. That's another one of the reasons why it's also not working either. He's deaf. So.
All right, 1 minute. And I just flip open near the end of my book, and I offer him the pencil.
He, like, he takes the pen and the paper,
Oh, no,
writes
he's
down.
illiterate, too.
No, he writes down in common, he goes, please let me handle the props first.
I just need a hair, for comparison's sake.
A hair?
1 hair.
Fiber, to be specific.
It is a wig.
Roger has issues with that.
Fiber?
Roger has issues with the fact that you're going to tamper with his perfected vision.
There's already a man dead here. I feel like the vision's been tampered with. Also, your gags are running amok. The gags, not yours.
I feel like a lot of those were props, too.
Yeah, no, so you've already lost some props already. We can't bring gags back from the dead.
Or can we?
Well,
Let's
Thunder
not.
clacks behind him.
roll a persuasion check. Again, Roger's kind of like a high energy, high strung man. You're gonna have to like just bite through that a little
12.
bit. 12? Hold on. Yeah, unfortunately. So
Then I would like to look very keenly at that wig, if my vision doesn't interfere with your vision.
I'll allow it. So he lets you. Basically, if you want them to handle it, they will. But you go over to the area. You see the outfit. It's a very. It doesn't even look like a huge, like, really, like, adorned outfit. It actually looks like a tarnished garb that almost looks like a buttoned-up suit, torn overalls, and what looks like patches of metal that almost look like metal pauldrons. I'm sure I'm not saying that correctly.
Pauldron? No,
Pauldron?
that's right.
Okay? Okay, cool. The shoulder pad. Like, World of Warcraft, the motherfucker's like the size of the guy's head.
Yep.
Yeah. There's a pauldron that looks like it's all ragged up, but like it's still, it's like made to actually be snug around the person who's wearing it, but it's loose and broken up. The wig itself is a very short-cut hair wig that kind of like combs back the hair. Roll an perception since they're not allowing you to touch it unless you want them to show it off.
Roll perception first. While I'm looking at it, I'd actually shout back to Roger. When is Denton supposed to be wearing this outfit?
We're filming the final... Oh,
Nat 20.
Nat 20, hot damn. All right,
Adding
well...
perception would be 22.
Well, let's get one question out of the way first, because, you know. So, which would you rather be asked first? The question to Roger or figuring out what's going on with the perception check?
I'm asking the question as I'm looking, so I guess the answer would come before I have whatever conclusion the perception would give me.
Okay. The scene calls for a fight sequence. Roger is meant to Oh, I'm sorry, not Roger. Jesus, that's him.
Denton?
Yes, Denton, sorry. Denton is meant to fight Mr. High Price, who will be piloting a gorilla suit.
Still missing.
But he hasn't been. He hasn't needed this outfit so far in the production.
Nope, it was just now. This was the final shoot for the final day, and that's when they were going to use it.
And so Marlowe also has never had a chance to put this on.
Marlowe never was supposed to wear that suit. High Price was supposed to wear the suit.
No,
all
not
the time.
the wig.
Oh, the wig. No, he has. He has worn it before. And then this was brought back because I'm sorry, not Mitzi. Fucking Patty and the brothers were actually meant to fix it so it adjusts to him.
So Marlowe has been shot in this outfit.
He was shot, but then they scrubbed the footage to make it work for
Make it work for Denton.
Make it work for Denton. Yes.
Interesting.
So this outfit has already been altered to fit Denton. Though, what's strange is that Roger says that Denton said that he wouldn't really require all that much to be changed for him to fit inside of the wig, or even in the suit itself. With that perception check, I need you to instead roll an arcane check with advantage.
Ooh. All right. I'll actually make use of our nice big pad here. Arcane. Both of them rolled 4. So it is a 10.
That's amazing.
My Arcana's kind of high.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and just give you this then. The fact that you were able to discern that there is magic, like, eclipsing the inside of these outfits, shows that someone here, whether it be Denton or whether it be Marlowe, was a magician.
All right, then actually, I would like to cast Identify on the wig.
That's what I call movie magic.
All right. Well, you do that, Danny pulls it away from you.
I think I just need to see it. Oh, I have to touch it. Okay, fair enough. There's something on that wig. I need to identify it. Quite literally, actually. I just need to. I don't.
Why do you need to? Like Norbert's just like, fuck do you mean identify it? We made it.
Well, something else is on top. There's an essence. There's an essence with the wig.
Oh, you're a magician, aren't you?
I'm good at sussing them out.
You're an inquisitor?
This room
Not
that we're
literally, but yes.
We're in a wardrobe, like, with these people. Like, we're just kind of like alone in a different room, right?
No, you're in a lot. The wardrobes for them is off to the side. Like, they're in the left
so
corner
it's like
here.
down there. Gotcha.
It's like right, like the main wardrobe area where like they go to like actually like rest up and shit is the area that's to the left of the storage room. Where you guys are now, like basically all the wardrobe shit is right here.
Okay. What I was thinking about was not going to work if there are more people around then.
I don't even need to touch the hairs. I can just put one finger on the skull cap inside. That's all I need. You can actually still be holding it too if you'd like.
Okay, you say that. Danny kind of just like begrudgingly looks at you and goes, very well.
I just kind of hitch a claw inside the skull cap.
It is fucking filled to burst with transmutation magic.
I was going to say lice.
That's why I'm touching the skull cap. Ah! I registered.
Like the entire suit is covered in transmutation magic.
You made this conventionally, I assume, right?
Yes.
It's not that anymore.
What do you mean not that anymore? Patty, what did you do? Patty like looks around. I didn't make a cloak out of running gags.
No, it's not a cloak. It's
not a cloak. I made an outfit out of running gags. Sorry.
It's
Very conspicuous thing to say.
It's been affected by transmutation magic. Whether something has been transformed into this outfit or the outfit itself has been transformed, I cannot say.
Transform? That makes no sense. What do you mean? Like, all of us, like, all the sketches look around, all of us can transform.
But does that usually mean your magic, your power leaks out onto the outfits? I don't think so.
None of us are gifted with magic.
Well,
at least I don't believe we are.
Well, someone is, because this wig is coded in transmutation magic.
All right. Well, how do you suss that out then?
I have eyes.
No, I'm asking, like, as players, how are you gonna suss that out? Apart from, like, the fact that, like, all three of them just pretty much just went, none of us have magic.
If only we had a wizard.
That'd be too easy.
I could try using clue on the outfit, but that would only identify how many people have touched it. It wouldn't say who.
There is one other thing you could possibly do. But that would require a shot from all of you. If you would all like to, go ahead and roll an insight check.
Sure.
On a certain person, though. Since there's 3 of them and 3 of you, choose your target.
I choose...
Patty's at my eye level, so I'll go with her.
So that leaves Honey or Denton.
I'll do Denton.
I got Honey.
Alright, go for it.
7. Oh, I'm sorry.
Nick goes first.
Nick goes first. Nick
Well, I'm not particularly good at insight. Let's actually double check that I'm not. Yeah, not particularly great at it. I got a 3.
22.
17.
17? Blugen, why are you staring at Patty?
Sorry, it's just I don't got a lot of people in my eye height. I just want to go.
It's
to
okay, I understand that pain!
I want to go to the concession stand to look back up at Belghast. Just gonna tug on his coat.
They never let me ride the roller coasters!
There's roller coasters here?
No, not here! But inside the tower.
Oh, that's rude. They should build roller coasters for people our size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's now lost in thought. You two. You are looking at Honey. Honey is genuine. Honey is genuine about the fact that she, like, claims that she has no magic. Though she still kind of just, like... She has this twinge to her at the idea of having to change. So, like, there's bitterness in her tone of voice, but she still kind of is very, like... There's truth to her saying she does not have magic. What you rolled, 22, I believe?
Yes.
Oh, he's a lying sack of shit.
Ah.
Despite the fact that he's an actor, he's also the stunt double, so he's basically the double here.
The understudy doesn't have a good acting talent. I wonder why Marlowe was chosen first. Now how to break it? I'm not gonna say anything, but Belghast is going to narrow his eyes at Denton and give him that squint, that oh so obvious squint of like, I know you're bullshitting me.
Can I help you?
I know you're bullshitting me.
Now he says it out loud.
Oh yeah, no, I wanted him to say it out loud. That's fine.
So when did you have time to contaminate this outfit with transmutation magic?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I know
Or do you? I climb up from Belghast's shoulder.
I actually tap Blugen, which is kind of a cue to have him highlight my words. I know you're bullshitting me, kind of just flashes over my head.
A big speech bubble.
They only do this when they're really on point.
When we're coordinated, you know you have a problem.
The words, "you have a problem," show up in the speech bubble.
No, not... whatever.
Betty approaches him. She actually pulls out a small device from like what looks like a cigarette case, like a metal one. She flips it open and pulls out what looks like a tiny wand and traces it over him. You're a fucking wizard.
You're a wizard, Denton.
Blugen just looks at him. Nerd.
Some of us were born with it or given it.
Others were cursed.
I'm just drawn this way.
All right, fine. I didn't want to make this a big deal because I wanted to be a part of this movie by my own merits, but yes, I have capabilities as a magician in transmutation. I may have shifted the outfit to fit me slightly because the measurements weren't completely on point.
You're trying to keep a low profile, but you blow it on alterations? That's sus.
Oh,
That's hella sus.
Well, let's also look back at the script, shall we? I have to fight a giant man in a gorilla suit. Also having a little bit of magic and transmutation to make sure I don't get my blood punched out of me in the fight is kind of a good idea.
How violent are these productions?
Mr. High Price is very good at his job.
And the other guy's dead.
Wouldn't you be bad at your job if you actually killed the person you're supposed to stage fight?
He was a spelljammer in his previous days.
This production is becoming more and more fraught. Why are we only letting money give us 24 hours with this? It's a mess.
I don't see why he has the full say in it, honestly.
I mean, I'm writing up a report as we speak. I'm very tempted to shut this place down.
Roger looks at you. He looks at you, kind of like saunters his way over, gets on his knees and grabs your shirt. No, don't do that.
Some very small part of me understands authenticity would make the feature excel in its quality. But if you have someone so afraid for their lives in a scene, there's a problem, Roger. A very big problem.
These concerns were not voiced to me, and also, we can't make big concerns when someone big is watching us.
Is he pointing to Money or Micron?
He's pointing up to the balcony.
Is Money watching us at this point?
You have not seen a silhouette this entire time. Arden just goes, all right, well...
Actually, sorry, one more thing. I do want to incite his excuse that he was just altering it to fit.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, he's doing a bit better on this one.
Can I give you advantage by being on your shoulder and trying to psych you up with it?
I will allow it.
Okay. Go for the other one.
13, 8, 21.
21?
Blugen counts as a plus 10.
No, he's genuine about what he said. He was just trying to cover the fact that he's a magician, because again, magicians are like outside of the tower are not very well received.
So as far as I'm aware, he was just using the magic to alter the size of the suit.
As far as you can discern from him, that is the case.
And as far as uses of magic, that is pretty low key. At least he wasn't. I mean, it's just.
But he did just admit that he also was thinking about using magic during the scene to protect himself from the gorilla.
I can understand that. But I'm also just the intern. I don't know.
Oscar's also in the room, right?
No, he's not.
He's not.
He's not in here. Remember, Bite Size told you that him and Ford went to Ford's office to talk negotiations.
That's a bit suspect. Also, it does kind of look not good on Oscar that someone's so afraid for their lives they think they might have to resort to using magic to defend themselves while shooting a scene.
Well, this is also a precaution after a murder has occurred. So this is kind of like extra protection on his mind. That he actually blew his cover as a magician in order to make himself more protected.
Yeah.
Oh, so he did just alter the size.
Yeah.
Okay. He enchanted it. Got it.
I believe him. I believe that.
All right. Well, the next step, if Oscar is that hard to get to, the next step I think is still trying to look at the gorilla suit.
Well, you'd have to find it first, says Arden. Why don't we go ahead and see if we can usher in everyone else down here so we can all have questions answered.
And if a running gag runs amok, we can all fight it.
Concession stand. Concession stand.
I'd like
concession stand.
Patty kind of just like shakes her head. I'd rather prefer if you didn't. Like, if you... Actually...
I'm not saying we go hunt running gags. I'm saying if one attacks us, we can defend ourselves.
Well, if one attacks you, why don't you just say the code phrase?
Because we weren't taught it.
She says in Goblin, I'm not going to fucking say it out loud because I don't know Goblin. She says hugs and kisses in Goblin.
Okay, comprehend languages is still up, so unless someone else speaks Goblin, only I got that.
I don't speak Goblin.
Anyone else here speak Goblin? Nope.
I'm going to write down the word in Goblin.
I don't think so.
So
I have a cooking.
So you comprehend
Gribbles and higgles.
You comprehend that the code phrase in Goblin is hugs and kisses.
I'm just going to say
I actually just looked at it, Patty. Adorable. Anyway.
She like gives you like you look at her. It's like a, you know in Ren and Stimpy where they have like the scenes where the characters are standing there and it's a painted picture of them. Mm-hmm. It's that with Patty, and it does like a little toy squeak like for a split second.
Rippling.
All right. So the idea, I thought we at least knew where it was. It's just we can't get to it while the vents are open and running.
Right, and the only person who has the key is Ford.
Oh, okay. Well, then I guess we are going to go bother Ford now.
I thought we were gonna go to the concession stand and see that.
Well, Zap's at the concession stand, says Bite Size. If you want to go gather his stupid ass, go ahead.
I look up at Blugen. I guess I owe you for the scenery. Let's go to the concessions.
All right. So you guys head on over this way. I'm gonna go ahead and change the music.
Yeah, we're not
Let's
getting any
all
music
go
on
to
here,
the
are we?
lobby.
All right, so here you guys are. Let me go ahead and reveal a little bit more locations. These are doors right here. Please reveal. Game.
It's okay.
It's figuring
You can
itself
do
out.
it.
That's okay, Rocky. Take your time.
We'll make our own doors. Kyle blows up his.
So you have two rooms off to the side there. Before that leads into the theater itself. Obviously, there's a big plate glass wall that says concessions and tickets. There is what looks like a couple of like advertisements for drinks that are set off for actually certain movies.
Blugen dives behind the concessions counter and stands back up, just wearing like a candy stripe outfit, like one of those paper hats. Ha!
Roll a dexterity save.
Dexterity save. That is a dexterity save 18.
18? Like, instinctually, you fucking just, like, hold yourself up and then go to dive down to grab, like, some other stuff to pretend like you're about to be, like, the guy giving out, like, the concessions.
Mm-hmm.
As a blackjack whizzes above your head and you hear, ah! Oh, it's you.
My paper hat!
Yeah,
Another one pops up over my head.
takes your paper hat with you. I'm gonna reveal this.
Blugen just walks up to the bar. I'll have a Coca-Cola and a Snackers bar.
Coming right up! Finger guns. Now, where the hell are those things? I started looking around.
Standing behind you was Zap, who just kind of holsters his billy club, just holding his breath, like, oh, okay, all right. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. You startled me. You jumped through the plate glass window.
I tend to do that. Picks a shard of
Does he
glass
tend
out
to
of
do
my
that?
face.
A lot.
Oh. Well, I overheard what was going on. I haven't seen Mitzi or anyone, so I'm catching my breath over here. If you...
Why here, of all places?
He holds up a soda. It's my vice.
I set a cold cola on the counter for you as I'm eating a hot dog.
I drink it like I drink my wine.
Out of a Sonic
Out of a
cup.
Sonic cup.
I like my cola like I like my wine out of a Sonic cup.
I set down a Sonic cup of cola for you.
Fuck. He kind of looks around at you all and just goes no, I much prefer if we didn't all drink because then I would have to be accounted for all of this.
Thank you. I grab another hot dog.
He actually looks at you
He reaches for the cup. I'm gonna go.
Oh yeah, he doesn't reach for the cup. He snatches at it.
My whole neck just stretches over.
Dragon's got pretty long necks.
Long neck.
He sissy slaps your face
I just blow what soda was in my mouth on him.
Yeah, that's right. You take it. Poor Zap.
I'm sorry,
I hope
Zap.
he's killing everyone.
I really hope. Zap, I'm sorry you're having a hard day.
Well, it's it is what it is.
And then Kyle slowly reaches up, but I am going to take these peanut butter M&Ms just so you know it. I'm sorry about it.
Grabs your hand.
Okay, listen. Have you seen the size of my arm?
Actively starts to get bigger.
We can do this the easy way or the hard way. He just gets taller.
Intimidation check.
Oh boy. Let's see.
Never mind. Zap rolled a nat 20. He pulls out his billy club and he slaps you on the fucking wrist.
If you roll a 20, you can counter it.
Yep. Roll anyway.
Damn, nope, not dead.
Damn.
He fucking, like a disappointed mother with a shoe, whacks your fucking wrist with the billy club.
Okay, that's fair.
Surprisingly assertive. Glad we sussed that out.
Logan finishes his
This is my job, sir. I have to make sure that the lot is in order.
Did you mop up after the toilet ghost?
Yes.
Understandable. Now, what are we doing back here?
Getting a drink. I was running around making sure everything was okay after the whole fiasco in the bathroom.
It doesn't sound like Bite Size would have been super happy about that.
Of course she wouldn't. She would have docked my pay again.
That'd be pretty bad.
Or at least told Ford, and then I'd have to be on the... I basically would have to do this full time.
Yeah,
I don't want that.
Be pretty bad if she learned about this. I start handing the peanut M&Ms to Kyle. Pretty bad if Bite Size learned about this then, huh?
I have questions, but you go ahead and do something about that.
No, go ahead and ask your questions.
So this is only your part-time work right now?
Well, yes, as I've said before, me being security wasn't my main job. I only had to be on security because Miss Bite Size was, shall we say, put under a very negative light.
Yeah, no, prohibitions, we got that.
Yes, she had prohibitions for ripping a man's arm out of the socket who was trying to break into the building.
What a woman.
They sued, and Mr. Ford didn't like that, so as a little bit of compensation, he brought me on as a security officer to basically be a PR stunt to make sure I have bite-sized sensitivity training.
So what do you usually do if this is only part-time? Or what did you do before?
I was an intern, or mostly an usher with Mitzi.
I feel like we would have each other's backs then, a little bit. Maybe help your buddy Kyle out a little.
With what?
A little sweet tooth.
You are both interns, just to be perfectly clear.
Yes, we're both technically interns. We're not on payroll. I was lying. I was hoping I wouldn't be on payroll for this.
Well, I'm just saying he's an intern too.
Mitzi's an intern, yes.
Oh,
No, Kyle.
Oh, Kyle?
Hello.
Elk.
Elk. Yeah, that's right, Elk.
Elk.
Oh, Elk, yes.
That's
Elk
me. I
is
forget my
our
name
intern.
sometimes. You know how it is.
How many interns? You know what? I wouldn't put it past Money to have a lot of interns.
Well,
Never mind.
he's gone through a lot of employees. He usually likes to hire often.
Most unpaid interns.
Unless they have a job in the lot, yes.
He pays you an experience. It's worth a lot. By which I mean nothing. It's worth nothing at all.
Well, I mean, he
Kyle
also...
looks at Belghast.
Oh, but yours different. Look how much you've been learning.
You almost died!
And check these sweet peanut M&Ms. Yeah! Brand sponsorship.
Schmem&Ms.
N&M's.
If I get an email
I
from
was
Mars,
like, Nick, be careful, you're writing off some dangerous wording there for that one.
M&M's. Marshall Mathers' rock candies.
I had to make do with a Snackers bar. You can make do with some Schmem&Ms.
I love M&M's.
Good old Spoka-Cola.
Cake-a-Cola.
Cake-a-Cola.
Tastes absurdly sweet.
Well,
On brand.
Well, I'm not completely off my duties as an usher too, since we're running on such low staff as of today. I was supposed to check inventory for the concession stand. That was at least one of my jobs. I'm trying to do so many things at once. I'm trying. He looks like he's about to cry.
Well, if it makes you feel any better. Bite Size says get the hell over to the lot.
He's like shriveling. Roll a perception check, all of you.
Alrighty. Oh boy, this dice is not friendly to me. Perception is a 5.
5.
19.
19?
Go Elk.
Yeah, Mr. Elk, you're noticing that not only is he working around with soda where he's standing, but it also looks like he's standing over a little bit of liquor.
Like on the floor or like bottles?
Like bottles. Like there's like a bottle that looks like it's not supposed to be placed there. Like there's soda, and then there's just like this weird, really fine liquor bottle right next to it.
So soda is your vice, you said. Is there anything else that helped you get through the day? But I don't judge or anything.
Well, He like looks left and right like, no.
That sounds legit.
One intern to another. You can tell me.
No, I don't. No, I can't. I just like soda a lot. It keeps me on it. It keeps me hydrated.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if that's actually true.
It's not.
Ah.
Well, it does for me, sir. Now, if you don't mind, I'm sure a lot of you.
Well, hey, could you get me a drink of what's down there? And Kyle just directly points to it.
Points at it.
Blugen on the other side of the counter looks down.
He looks down at it.
I haven't seen that soda before. What's it called?
Let me read. What's it say?
Oh, well, this. He pulls it up like he's not afraid of actually pulling it up and showing it. Oh, this is what Miss Glamour was looking for. Oh dear. I don't know why that's there.
Mystery solved!
I'd like an insight check on that. I want to make sure that he's like, oh no, look at this bottle I've just suddenly found.
Yeah, go ahead.
Glamour's bottle.
Roll it. Miss Glamour and Miss Magic were looking for this.
6 with an 8, 14.
14? He's a bumbling idiot, but he's actually like really on point. Like he's actually being truthful. He had no idea that was there.
Does Glamour usually keep her stuff up by in Money's office?
Well, yes, Miss Glamour and Miss Magic are his secretaries.
Perfect.
They're very close.
I grab the bottle.
No, you will not.
Our next stop is Money's office, and this would make Glamour very happy.
Persuasion check.
11.
11. Yanks it right back and puts it down. I'm afraid not. I know the concession actually calls for this drink for the opening movie night.
Wouldn't it make sense for Glamour to keep it then?
No, I'm here for inventory, sir. Remember, I have to keep these things in accountants.
Well,
just like all of those Schmem&Ms you were eating.
Kyle is like swallowing. It's like, what's going on?
What's that? Buddy, friend, pal. Look.
He's very stressed. He's fucking like run ragged.
You look like you've been having a rough day. We understand. It's hard. This is a very stressful time that we live in. This is very rough. We're only here for 24 hours, and that's not easy on us either. Now this bottle, it might make our job a little bit easier, because Ford, I get the feeling he doesn't like me for some reason. And if we could do anything to just make him just a little bit happier.
Persuasion.
I think that would help. Stat I'm good at. That is a 26.
He can't fucking beat. He almost did, but he can't beat that. He like writes down some notes on a small little notepad he pulls out, and then he gives it to you. All right, just straight to Ford's office. I can see you do it.
Of course. You'll be able to watch us do it as you walk to the movie lot too, because that's where Bite Size wants everybody gathered and all that.
Sneeze stuck in nose. Sorry, one moment. And it didn't come out. Okay, great. Well, the only other person I saw go around was Mitzi. I guess I'll go grab her as you go ahead and get Mr. Ford. Last I saw him was Mr. High Price and himself and Mr. Money went upstairs, and he points to the staircase right across from you.
Thank you kindly. I grab the bottle, I grab the paper, and leap back through the plate glass.
The paper? He doesn't give you any paper.
Oh, I thought you said he wrote something down on a piece of paper.
Yeah, on his notepad.
Yeah, it's his inventory
His
for how much
inventory
we've
sheet.
eaten.
Gotcha. I do not steal that.
All right.
Kyle does feel bad and offers him a peanut butter M&M.
Schmem&M.
Schmem&M. Distinctly copyright different.
He holds his hand out in reverence. And he eats it anyway.
There we go.
I'm so tempted just to go.
Yeah, you just fucking eat them anyway. Like, fuck you.
You want some? Nah.
Walk out with the Sonic Cup.
We
Slurp
are
to a
assholes.
Yeah.
Slurp dominance.
You ever think of changing the name of the agency
New map.
to Pieces of Shit?
New map.
Yeah.
So let me go ahead and grab your guys' tokens.
Now we're on the second floor.
Oh wait, I have to actually copy and paste your tokens because that would make this
we'll be able
easier.
to control them.
go.
This stream is brought to you by Schmem&M's. Copyright
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola. Distinctly different from any existing brands you may know.
Aside from Heat Tap.
Yes, delicious, delicious heat tap. Do you know that for a while I actually debated going to like one of those places, like, because you can get custom energy drinks and stuff from places that just like, you know, like there'll be a factory that makes Monster Energy or something of the ilk, but they will print your label on something because they have just like a whole bunch of extra stuff that they don't sell. So there was a while that I was debating like actually setting up something for heat tap.
Sorry, I'm just creating things from the GM layer.
You're good.
That's why I filled in with that heat tap story.
Yes, yes. All right.
So want to zoom in a little bit more on that map?
I will. So when you're feeling sapped, bring the tap.
All right, so you guys head up to the second floor.
Bottle in hand.
Yep. So there's an entire like opening area that looks like it's just like a small like topiary or like garden like sort of area, like adorned with like little cherubs and a bunch of other like just figureheads, kind of like all on busts in a small like greenery area.
Just super opulent.
Yeah, like there's like a wee bit of opulence to this area. Off to the far corner, you can see Glamour and Magic standing at what looks like two double-sided doors. To the hallway all the way to the north of you, that actually leads to the balcony area of the seating in the theater.
Blugen just walks up the stairs. They're two of my favorite ladies. Hello. A little birdie told me you were looking for something. I start like holding the bottle.
They both stop and look towards each other. They turn and look down at you.
I smile.
They pat you on the head both at the same time and then take the bottle. This, by the way, the bottle itself, I was trying to get to that, but I actually completely forgot it.
Oh, and as they're patting me, my cheeks turn red and my bow tie starts to spin on itself.
Okay, so the drink itself is a rum that is actually very commonly used by spelljamming captains called Void Swig.
Like drinking and flying through the void of space.
What else do you do to pass the time?
In the void, there is no time.
Why's the rum gone?
Technically, you don't pass any time.
Actually, I guess now that we know, was that bottle gifted or was it purchased?
Oh, this has been here before we were hired.
Really? And how long's that been?
We were recent hires, say maybe 3. They're all speaking at the same time, by the way. Like, I can't do a double voice, but...
Horrific.
Yeah. Well, their voices are very beautiful. Like, nothing's, like, chilling or scary about them. They're actually being genuine, and, like, they have, like, a sort of...
The only creepy part is that they talk like the twins from The Shining.
The Shining. But they actually, like, have, like, a sylvan kind of, like, lisp to their voice, so it's, like, actually kind of, like, melodic in a way.
I feel like the harmony could be amazing, but if it's still just two people speaking in unison, it's gonna be creepy. Is that just me?
It's free ASMR.
It could be creepy still, but hey, like you don't get the vibe that they're being threatening or like this is a scare tactic.
Yeah.
They tell you that they have been hired for at least 6 months now.
Okay, so that is pretty recent. Has actually, well, I mean, so it is. If it's frequently with spelljamming captains, has Oscar been here longer than you two?
Oscar was a recent hire made for this production.
So he's been more recent than you two.
Oh, of course.
Were there secretaries before you?
Mr. Money likes to hire many secretaries.
That sounds about right.
Wonder why they keep getting cycled out.
Could be odd. I don't know.
He likes his options.
Speaking of options, we had a few that we wanted to discuss with him. I know he's a little busy right now, but...
Oh yes, he's currently in a meeting with Mr. High Price. It should be ending shortly, but why? Whatever is the matter?
Oh, there's just a number of things that we wanted to run by him. The, fact that there may or may not be some dangerous props running loose. little things that if we could just get a little bit of clarification would assist in us getting out of his hair a lot quicker. What little of it remains. I lean back towards Kyle and Belghast as I mutter that.
Well, we are sadly under obligation to make sure that no one walks inside, so until such time as they are allowed, such time until Mr. High Price and Mr. Money are finished with their meeting, we cannot let you inside.
I see. I'm looking around the wall. Are there any air vents, windows?
Perception check.
Okie dokie.
Should all of us do a perception?
I mean, if you want to. But
that's
mostly him, because he's the one who instigated it.
That's a 19.
That's true.
19?
You probably got it then.
Hopefully.
There looks like there's a giant well in the inside of where the little topiary area is.
Kind of like around here somewhere.
Yeah, there's a well inside there, and there's vents where the water is pumping out. Whereas, like, air vents for everything else, there's with that check, it's probably covered up to make sure this area looks nice, but you can spot that there's probably some, like, air conditioning unit just above the topiary.
This well, would somebody say be able to climb in and out of it at will? Or is it like a well where it just goes down, 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 then water?
That is uncertain, but you could, like, look at it from where you're standing. You could see it. Like, you could probably step in it and it'll, like, probably go up to waist height on you.
Okay, so it's not a deep well.
Yeah, it's not a deep well, but you can see the vents clearly on the inside of it where the water is gushing out.
Pardon me. I wander over to the well. All right, ladies, just let us know when he's available.
They both stop. They both notice you trying to walk over towards the topiary. They both, like, look down at you and gently caress their hands on your shoulder.
Oh my, I'm not used to being this popular. Ladies, please. I blush and fan my face as steam kind of broils out of my ears.
We ask that you do not touch the display area, sir.
Oh, but it just looks so pretty. I just wanted to marvel at it.
We insist. Roll
Actually,
a wisdom save.
Wisdom save. Okay.
they were feeding the door until they moved towards Blugen.
Yep.
I would like to put my ear to the door while they walked away.
You are. Look at where you are. You are now nowhere close to the door.
So, but isn't the door against the far side?
Door's over here.
I currently.
So wait, is that whole thing an empty pavilion?
Yes.
It's a topi. It's like a topiary
That's like
garden.
the garden area.
It's a natural 20, by the way.
Okay, I wouldn't have been. Sorry, I mean, I don't want to go fully back in time. I wouldn't have been shouting at them across. I thought that was a concourse, not an empty field.
What was it that I felt trying to probe my brain?
You felt like a lulling sense of it was basically a charm spell. You felt like something was trying to, like, persuade you to not actually do anything. Again, you can't tell if this is malicious, you can't tell if this is just intent, but they're basically doing their job and making sure that you don't fuck with Ford shit.
Ladies, please. I have a very delicate disposition.
And we have very few rules here, and we wish that you do not break them, especially while we are under investigation, sir.
I'm not trying to break any rules. Also, I am one of the ones doing the investigating here, so,
Yes.
I tap the pin.
Yes, we are aware. And we were also told to make sure that you were given special treatment by Mr. Money.
Of course.
Does that special treatment include getting attacked by your running gags?
They both stop and look at each other.
Yes, this was one of the things we wanted to bring up with Ford, but since there is an impediment, I feel like you also should know. The running gags are running amok.
Oh, that's quite unfortunate. They
almost killed me, and they almost killed Blugen. Yeah,
I'm just kind of cuddling into them now.
They push you away.
No.
So you will understand if we have a bit of pressing concern that maybe can't wait for Oscar's contract negotiation to wrap up.
Oh, yes, we understand that would probably be prudent, and we will absolutely bring this up with Mr. Money when the meeting is done. The door slams open.
Perfect!
I swear this isn't what it looks like, I say with my arms around them.
Alright. Again, I'm just moving stuff here real quick. Token. Oh, geez, Ford, please, you're fucking huge, man.
Come step on me.
Reveal area.
There's our big boy.
He is a big fella. He's even bigger than the guy that's supposed to be a really big fella.
Well, he's supposed to be piloting the inside of a really big fella.
Yeah.
Remember,
He's a giant space worm man.
Well, not even a worm man. I should go ahead and describe that since this is like the more first time you're in depth going to see Oscar. Oscar meanders out. He's not really all that tall. He probably like goes up to Kyle's like lower chest. But that's because he's got the lower body of a spider. His like where hands should be are kind of like lobster claw like sort of in fashion. And from where the head should be of where the spider is a long neck that reaches out to almost like an eel-shaped face.
Oh, looks like that meeting's done. A pleasure, ladies.
They kind of like step to the side so you guys may pass by.
Mr. Money, we do have a pressing issue for you now.
Hi, Oscar. How are you?
Oh, yes. Hello. I'm simply just ending my meeting, and why are you all gathered here?
Oh, we just had some questions and stuff from Mr. Ford, and, you know, we heard you were up here chatting. We just wanted to wait our turn.
Yes, good. Like, Ford kind of like looks at you like smoking a giant cigar that's like as big as his fist.
How many of those does he have?
Magic and Glamour kind of like giggle, and they like wave their hands, and like a box of cigars just like appear out of thin air.
As many as he needs.
Can I keep them?
Kyle underlines big fist in his notes.
Well, if you're here to talk about his negotiation with his contract, you're shit out of luck there, boyos. He's under my watch while he's under the lot, so anything that we have discussed, and what you will discuss, if you decide to go against it, Mr. High Price knows what's at stake. High Price kind of just like lowers his head a little bit. So whatever has gone inside this meeting did not go in his favor. So now what can I do for you, gentlemen?
We have a question about some of your equipment precautions. We had some interesting experiences with while inspecting your storage room.
Some of them were a bit more murdery than expected.
What do you mean murdery?
Your running gags are attacking people. Namely us, which is a bigger problem if they were just attacking normal people.
Which we are.
We're with the golden pin. We're better than normals.
Yeah, but I don't really care that much about the golden pin. So long as that fella down there, Kilroy was his name, he's more important than a lot of you.
Well, they could have attacked Patty, sir, and that's, you know, as an employee, that it would be in your best interest to not have your employees.
I mean, I could probably hire someone for less.
Okay, this is going to be a wonderful meeting.
So,
yeah, like Glamour and Magic kind of like look at the three of you. Yes, Mr. Ford here is a very frugal and somehow fiscal leader of industry.
I just want to double check the golden pin's relationship to this lot. Are we essentially the union? Okay.
You are anything you guys do here will come out of pocket when it comes to Ford. And from the looks of it, Ford is all about money, and he wants things to be done quickly and efficiently, but for as little money as possible.
Well, then bigger problem. If your running gags are attacking people, they're defective. Whoever you lose has to be replaced, and then you also have to replace the gags that are killing people.
So we need to know who has access.
Well, I can answer your questions, but at the end of the day, all of this just boils down to I really don't give a shit because I could just hire anyone back.
Replacing the running gags are going to cost you money, so it would be better to solve the problem.
Oh no, it won't. We'll just kill them and have someone else make some new ones.
Yeah, but you have to pay for them to be
There's
made.
a material cost.
A very minor one. Why do you think I hired Patty? She makes them for free.
But that's the problem.
They
if you
tried
have
to
to
kill
spend
her.
money, he doesn't care. We passed that point.
Yeah, you're kind of not getting the point. Is that either
I'm trying to tell him that it's going to cost more money for him to have this blasé attitude.
Right, but remember who you're pretending to be and why he has his blasé attitude in the first place. He's trying to make sure that you understand he doesn't give a fuck about anything you say.
Well, then I guess I'll just have to declare a work stop on this lot.
Oh, you could try.
Are you really gonna hire scabs? They suck.
They
really suck.
He fucking like just waggles his eyes at you and like smirks, and unfortunately Glamour and Magic kind of just like both give the same kind of smile.
They can conjure scabs. I think they can conjure scabs. That's really dirty. That's low.
If it's all the same to you, I guess. Like Oscar kind of like looks at the rest of you. Well, if you have questions, I suppose we're supposed to be met downstairs.
That's correct.
Yes. Well, the one thing I guess we can still get to the bottom of, the gorilla suit that Oscar will be using in the next scene. We've been told it's downstairs and it's currently inaccessible because the vents are open and on.
The moment you say that, Ford's ears perk up.
Which is costing you electricity.
Oh, wrong music. Ford trudges his way over to you guys and looms over the lot of you. I want to go ahead and repeat what piece of equipment was on point here, sir?
The vents.
Oh no, not that, the other thing.
The big gorillan suit.
He like snaps his finger and points at Blugen.
Confetti
wait.
kind of flies around. I won!
We have the gorilla and the gorillun. Two separate things.
Yeah, the gorillan is the one that is missing.
I'm talking about the gorilla suit.
He snaps his finger at Blugen.
I'm good at this.
But the gorilla was in storage. We found that.
The gorilla was in storage. The gorillan is the one that's missing.
Why do
the
these
gorilla
things have to
was-
be named almost the same?
Thanks, wizards.
The gorilla was a prop. It seemed like a running gag that was not very friendly, and the gorillan is missing and may or may not have been used in the murder.
So the silver gorillan is what's missing.
Yes.
So this is Quinn trying to keep it straight. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Because I thought that was, we knew where that was, but it was inaccessible.
No, you
Okay.
don't. Again, it's inaccessible. Patty believes that it was brought back down into the storeroom, but she can't verify
Because
that.
the vents are open and on.
Yes.
Got it. So, we need access to the lower storage area.
Well, Ford doesn't seem to be all worried about that. He's more now looking over at Oscar, who's actually shrunken as he turns and looks at Mr. High Price. Mr. High Price turns and looks at Mr. Money. You can't possibly believe that that is on me. Oh, I can. And unfortunately, after a little bit of investigation, that's a breach of your contract. You can't possibly believe that this was a breach when I had nothing to do. You watch as he turns and looks at him and begins to raise his voice. There is a spark of magic you can feel from him. All of you can feel from him. There's a
This
spark
is
of
high
magic.
price, right?
Yes.
He's got magic? Okay.
You can feel a spark of magic come from his voice, like everything he's talking about. Not only do you feel the magic surge through you, but you also feel like a sense of rage just like course through your ids.
I step behind Elk.
Oh, it doesn't have. You don't have to worry about that because, like, almost like a fucking after image, both Magic and Glamour are now standing behind Oscar, grab him by the shoulder, and he seizes. He stops talking.
Luke's
Well-
just sipping a cake of cola. It's just getting good.
Oh, you'll have your questions, sirs. Let us reconvene ourselves over to the lot, then, shall we?
Sure! Close enough. That's what they wanted anyway.
And that's where we'll take a break.
On their way downstairs, Blugen taps one toe onto the greenery.
Toe gets ripped off.
When you do that, there are what looks like one of the statues that almost looks like a toad stops and turns itself towards you. You hear the stone grinding.
I take the toe off.
My bad.
See you after the commercial!
Yep, that's where we'll stop.
Welcome back. I just want to address this real quick, something I learned on break. Christopher Ayers, the voice actor for Funimation Frieza, has passed away.
Oh, jeez.
He was a very kind man. He was actually one of the first funny voice actors that I talked to about DBZA, and he was just such a cool and genuine dude. It hit me a bit. I'll pull myself back here in a sec, but
Yeah, no, that's fair, but like, holy shit.
yeah, I just wanted to give the man the respect.
I'm turning the music off because that feels a little disingenuous.
Yeah, rest in peace, Chris. Love and laughter always, dude.
Do you want like another few minutes before we get going?
I'm all right. Honestly, the man was a consummate professional. He played at all times, and you know, like one of the things that he would always write down in his autographs, he told me, was love and laughter always, and that stuck with me, and I embraced that, and I want to embrace that presently by continuing to do what we're doing here.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, thank you though.
Only seemed fair. All right, let's go ahead and drag everyone here since the gang's all here. Look at all this colorful cast of characters
Belghast is standing in a pillar.
standing next to the camera.
I'm just leaning.
Yeah, he's leaning on the fucking expensive camera. It's not like you're part of the golden pin or anything, the guys who make sure that all this shit works or anything.
Well, apparently we're just fine with leaving all the vents open and on all the damn time.
Yeah, so Betsy is now going through all of everything that has just been told to you guys. So this is what you have so far after like getting everyone's alibi or everyone's like at least like through what Betsy has discovered. The murder weapon appears to be the Grillian suit. The suit was tailored for Oscar as part of his contract because Oscar has some kind of ability to move the puppet in a way that Roger wants the scene to go forward with. A large creature can comfortably fit inside the suit as well. The killer had attempted to use defunct running gags that Patty remembers being processed for disposal before they were used to kill her. The killer can make use of the air ducts that leads downstairs into the storeroom, which a small creature can comfortably fit through the ducts. So anything that is Blugen size can actually get through them.
I didn't do it, I swear.
So it seems like Oscar's been able to fit himself into different proportions. He can't fit through the vents though, right?
No, he is a medium-sized creature.
He's too big. Got it.
But the fact that he's a medium-sized creature able to pilot a large-sized costume with 4 arms, despite the fact that he's a fucking Spider-Man, like, you know, that has some kind of, like, weird validity.
So aside from Oscar, who's able to especially fit it, someone like, say, Mitzi or Ford could also.
Yes.
Well. All right.
And because of how small Lena is, she also is a candidate for the fact that she's small and can fit through the ducts.
But she would not have been able to pilot the suit unless she is able to expand her size in some way, shape, or form.
Right, and now Denton is also being suspected because he has transmutation magic.
Yes, and I was going to follow up. Is it because he knows transmutation magic, or is it because it's a quality of the sketch that that sketches could also possibly pilot the suit?
They can like alter themselves only slightly, but not to the fact that, you know, with magic, basically, with transmutation magic, Denton could possibly like rival someone, say like Ford in strength. Because of the magic he can cast.
Not in size.
Not in size, but in actual physical strength.
Okay.
So it's kind of like the Namir's density bit, where it's like they're still small, but they can make their bodies almost like harden to the point that they actually feel like large-sized creatures.
Is it possible for somebody to like Muppet Man it and like have somebody sitting on the shoulders and like Mecha Shiva their way into piloting the thing?
That's kind of the reason why Oscar was hired for the job. Because he can do
Mecha
that.
Shiva himself.
He's basically being able to stand on 2 of his hind legs and pilot the rest of the entire suit with his other arms.
Ah.
and the fact that the Gorillan suit actually has larger forearms, he uses his smaller leg limbs and then his actual claws to fit into the hand. Let's see. The downstairs storeroom, as told by Ford, is the editor's quarters, which Ford has sealed a few days prior so visitors don't enter when the theater opens for the movie premiere. There are large claw marks outside near the... There are large claw marks right near the murder scene and also near the security lot. Patty has voiced concerns that she is worried that there are still a few running gags that might be still somewhere in the theater, but she has no way to account for it. Considering what you fucking told her, that one kind of slipped through the ziggurat, now she doesn't know where that one is.
I hope it wants to be my friend.
That and also something else too to add to that fact. Someone with a killer is able to reprogram these things to actually do something else because Patty is the only one who has A, made these things, and B, knows the safe word to turn them on and off.
Has she indicated what type of magic is used to do that? Is that enchantment or...
She claims that it's not magic, that she knows that she actually just has had... there is a substance that kind of like makes up the blood of mimic-like creatures, and she has like access to that.
Okay, so she has basically a mimic hatchery.
Yes. So basically, if you think about it, like you said, it's like a mimic hatchery, and she's the brood mother.
Gonna circle back around on that.
So with those clues, let's roll initiative so everyone has a chance to like ask questions one at a time, because this will get confusing if we just go whole hog and let people do shit.
Natural 20.
One thing I wanted to check on before we do that, you said that Patty and someone else could be small enough to fit through that. So who is that other person?
Patty, Bite Size, Lena, possibly now also Denton, Oscar, and Brother Kilroy, but are you going to really accuse Brother Kilroy?
It depends on how I'm feeling today.
Mm-hmm. And Blugen, essentially.
I'm your man on the inside of the vents.
Unless Kilroy accidentally murdered someone with a hug, I don't think.
Well, remember, Kilroy, from what you've all seen, can summon spiritual weapons.
That's true.
He has a spiritual fucking weapon that's a scythe.
17 on the initiative.
13.
17, 13, and what?
Natural 20.
Natural 20? Alright, so Blugen, Belghast, and then Kyle. Okay, so with all that information in place, I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to speak to someone very relatively quickly, just to give like certain questions out. And then we're going to circle back around for like all the characters actually like bringing together and talking to each other.
All right.
So,
well, then I'll circle back around to that thing I wanted to touch on earlier. I'm going to talk to Patty.
okay. Everyone also is now like watching and listening at this point, so everyone's aware of what the fuck is going on when you're speaking to them.
Oh, okay. This is more of a private question.
That's kind of unfortunately the problem is that because Betty kind of just like brought everyone all together and it's just like, all right, here's what's going on. One of us is probably the murderer. Let's ask some questions. And since you guys pretty much saved someone from getting murdered, she kind of like sees you as detectives on the matter for this as well.
Poor Patty, you almost died with all those things running amok in there. And they're basically your babies, right?
In some weird sort of way, yes.
How does that come about exactly?
Oh, well, some of the spelljammers that actually come in actually sell a lot of the blood used from mimics. And with a certain way of forming it and giving it some sort of intelligence, you can actually form them into running gags. It's mostly how a lot of our high-functioning things work. Some cars run on them. Some of the electrical equipment that runs the streets run on running gags. It's kind of almost impossible to figure it out unless you actually know how to trace the fact that an object is a running gag.
So you just kind of raise them and teach them how to be the thing you want them to be?
Not really teach so much as they're More like objects with some amount of sentience to them, but only enough to know that they have a purpose.
So what would it take to teach one to kill?
Very simply. And it's also very illegal.
So there's just a room full of them in there.
There's also the basement. There's way more props down here. This is a movie lot, by the way.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, are they all running gags?
Not all of them, but I know a few of them have been made. I'm not a quote-unquote recent hire, but I've been here long enough that I've been here for 4, at least maybe 5 movie sets.
What happens to the retired ones? Do they get, like, repurposed? Do they teach?
Either
Do they
repurposed-
caught new things?
Yes, they're either repurposed, or if they're unable to be used into another setting, we either shut them off and put them in storage, or we have them euthanized.
Okay.
And the euthanized, a euthanized running gag can actually be repurposed into a new one.
Okay, so they're put down and then reprogrammed, essentially,
Yes.
taught to do new things. So it's really not a difficult process so long as you know how to do it.
Yes.
And right now,
And you also don't mind maybe a few digits missing. She holds up her hand. This finger's gone.
Blugen only has like 4 fingers because he's a cartoon, so.
She's a goblin, so she's got like 5. She's got 5 fingers, but her ring finger is gone.
yeah, that would. So they can just lash out like that sometimes.
If you accidentally tell them something and you're not very specific, that could happen.
So it takes a very keen intellect to tell them how to do what they need to do.
She like blushes. Well, I don't know, keen. Like
Oh, yeah,
like you're complimenting her.
I mean, it must take somebody pretty smart to do it. Otherwise, I mean, anybody could. But if you're the one teaching them how to do all of this stuff,
Norbert and Danny. Well, Norbert like laughs. He's just like, yeah, anyone could do this.
have you?
Yeah, I've done it a few times. I am a stagehand after all.
Of course, of course. How many of them did you teach to kill?
None of my running gags work here.
So none of your running gags work, is what I'm hearing.
He like squints at you. You got him super fucking good. Even Danny's like chuckling. He can't really. He's like he's like laughing, and like fucking Norbert looks at him and slaps him across the back of the head.
Chucklehead.
It's very very Abbott and Costello.
That's my line of questioning.
All right. Next is Belghast.
So, this probably is actually going to bounce between several people, so it's good that we have the floor. 4, the door was locked several days ago.
A few days ago, more like a week.
Okay, so the only way into that room, aside from unlocking the door, which I assume only you have.
Ford holds up the key.
Okay, so only key. So the vents are the only way in or out of the editing room.
Ford has the key, but then he stops you and goes, I have the key, but I put it on loan to Bite Size.
For how long?
For the unforeseeable time the amount of work needs to get done. Once the night shift is on, I take it back.
So there are essentially 2 people with access to the editing room through the conventional means. You and Bite Size, but not at the same time.
Right.
But anyone who can fit through the vents, so long as they're not on, could access the editing room.
Yeah, and that's something I only just found out now as he looks over at Patty. Well, you have the key. This is the fastest way to get things done.
Efficient.
I suppose so. Takes a drag out of his cigar.
Now, Patty. If a gag were to be put into the suit, how complicated a direction would it need to be given in order to act out a scene?
Very complicated. Have you ever heard of a monster called a mock?
Sometimes, in reading.
You want to roll a history check?
Sure. That 19?
Yeah, it is a 19.
19 plus 9, so 28.
Mocks sound very similar to that of running gags, except for the fact that they're actually sentient mimics. So literally, you actually need to have a humanoid body in order to run a costume and be a running gag. And that is not something that a running gag seems like it feasibly can do.
So a running gag couldn't do it.
A running gag might potentially attempt to do it, but it would be very sloppy.
And it would, and unless it had already been taken care of, it would still be in the suit.
Yes.
So either it's a mock or When we find the suit, we'll find whoever did it. All right. So...
Mocks are essentially your changelings of this game.
They're essentially that goo that just kind of came together and hive-minded itself into sentience.
Basically.
Okay.
I have a feeling someone's going to kibosh this, but I'm going to go ahead and try. So, Oscar, Mr. High Price.
Who's now fine. He's out of
still catatonic? Or?
No, he's out of the hold. He looks like he's just fucking absolutely miserable because Ford has been watching him the entire time with this shit-eating grin like, oh, you're in trouble and I fucking know it.
In what way have you breached your contract?
My contract was, so long as the suit is not ruined or tampered with in any sort of way, my compensation would be in full.
Well, it seems like that hasn't been breached until we can confirm the suit's been tampered with.
Betsy kind of like bites the bottom of her lip.
Did you find the suit?
No, we didn't find the suit, but while you were searching around for Ford and everyone else, we had Patty cross-reference the fabric we found off on the side of the lot, and it's a fabric she used quite often to make sure the suit was put into working order.
So there's a lot of evidence that the suit had been used, but we still don't have the suit in front of us to point at and go, there, and there, clearly the suit has been tampered with.
I don't want to be that person. What was your last name?
I didn't give you one. You can call me Hma.
Hma?
Yes, Hma.
Well, Mr. Hma,
You can just... Mr. Hma was my father. You can just call me Hma.
Norbert just fucking, just rolls his eyes. He looks over at Oscar. It's because you can fucking ruin people's minds. And then Oscar looks at him and gives a fucking meaty hiss.
Well, okay then. So it still sounds like the one thing, and Elk, I do not want you to disrupt your questioning, but it still sounds like the one thing we really need to do is get into that editing room and see if the suit is there.
Ford looks at the rest of you.
You may, of course, accompany us to make sure that we do not do anything to tamper with the suit.
Oh no, that's not happening. I'm giving the key to my actual investigator. The rest of you are not going down there at all.
Your continued obstinance to the Golden Pin continues to be a source of frustration for us.
Yes, who owns this lot, sir?
Who can bill you for it?
You can't.
Oh, I can try.
You can try.
How much money are you gonna have to spend on lawyers, though, when I try?
Like I've ever been sued to the ground for this place, I'd still be in business.
But are you...
Like,
Point
You really
withdrawn.
own land
Elk.
is all I'm just...
Go ahead.
he is being obstinate towards you, but it also feels like roll an insight, actually.
Bonk. Oh, that's pretty low. It's still a 13.
Ford clearly has some kind of authority here that is higher than almost any of you, except for Kilroy. Because it seems that he's very suckered up to Kilroy.
Oh, then I have an idea. Elk, I'm sorry, give me one more second.
No worries.
No. We're letting him go next.
But I want to really talk to Kilroy.
I know.
I haven't done it for a whole week. I miss it.
I don't mind if Belghast wants to. I mean, her humor wants to.
Well, we're running on initiative 2 and also amount of questions you are allowed to between other people.
Oh, I didn't know there was a limit on questions. Fine, I'll pass.
That's the problem here. Is that
I think we're doing small ones and then a bigger one.
Well, the bigger one is after the fact that once everyone's had this little powwow and shit happens, then you can do that.
Okay.
Oh man, shit's gonna happen.
Well, don't worry. I'll talk to Kilroy.
Belghast, would you like to come with me?
Kyle's gonna go over to Kilroy. Hey, buddy.
Hello!
You know, I got the feeling that Humor wanted to talk to you about something. And I am such a good detective that I can...
So good, in fact, that I'm going to break meta in order for me to be able to actually have Belghast speak to him.
That is a good intern.
That's a pretty fucking good detective skill you got there, my dude.
You're earning every ounce of that money that we don't pay you.
all the peanuts you owe him.
This is why you pay me the no bucks.
That's why you get paid
And exposure.
Exposure and schmemenems.
So your battery has died.
My detective work is so good, it destroyed the computer.
Look what you did.
I mean, while this is going, I mean, it's just a conversation, right?
Yeah. So go ahead, as you were.
It was. I think Belghast was working his way into this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
yeah, no. it's-
Well, everyone's here, but this is for you to like at least ask personal questions while you're on your dime.
Oh,
Not so much you can bring other people into this. You are asking this out loud because again, golden pin, outward authority. Everyone's kind of got to have questions.
Okay. So will he have a chance to talk to Kilroy?
Yes. Again, that's why we have an initiative roll.
Perfect. Okay. Kilroy, did you murder anybody?
Insight ready.
I've killed many heretics before.
Damn.
Well, I mean, anyone recently here in the theater, like
No!
specifically?
Why would I do that?
I don't know. Just thought maybe.
No one here's a heretic. Right.
Right. No heretics here.
Turns and looks at Belghast.
Do we know what entails being a heretic?
Yes. Going against the teachings of the Directorate. So basically, if you are an enemy to the storytellers, you are an enemy to the entire being of fiction.
Okay.
Oh no! That ship sailed! He remembers the bathroom.
He remembers.
He remembers
the bathroom.
Kilroy will remember this.
If only that really flashed up in life.
I constantly feel like it does. When I'm having social interactions with other people, I'm like, oh, everyone hated that. And I'm like, oh no.
I guess that's the squint. It's just like,
Next question.
No heretics here.
Well, when he actually like says the word heretics, he's also actually now looking over at Denton. Because remember, he kind of like was outed just recently as a secret magician.
Do you think? Well, everyone can hear, I guess.
Everyone's fucking here, so everyone is here.
How does Denton react to getting the death stare from
He's
Kilroy?
fucking. He is fucking like fidgeting at that. He knows that if he's fucking around with the Directorate, he has no pushback. He will be on a chopping block, literally, if he fucks with this.
Did you murder anybody?
We're passing over questions now?
Mm-hmm.
No. Why would I murder someone when I literally just finally got the part I now have a chance to be in a movie, a big actual production movie for the first time in my career. My career only started, I was doing small short films, and now I finally have this. Why would I ruin this?
Because the guy that you replaced died for you to have it.
Yeah. You wouldn't be here if Marlowe wasn't dead.
I don't want to.
Ellipsis.
He is very fucking like turned back by that. He's like, no, I don't have a reason to kill Marlowe. He was actually one of my heroes as an actor.
but you wouldn't have gotten this role you're so happy about if Marlowe was still alive. So there's your assumed motive.
We're not saying that you did it, just that you do have motivation.
You're
Well,
just asking why would you do it. That's why we think you would do
And
it.
unfortunately, I have no rebuttal to that because I don't, because no matter how you look at it, it's going to look damning.
Just like, well, you know what? That's fair, but I didn't.
No, that's literally all he's got. He's like, this is completely fair, but I didn't do it.
He's a straight shooter. I like that.
I believe him.
Denton says he didn't do it.
Denton
Period.
didn't do it. You know what? It rhymes. And any lawyer just goes up there and says that, sticks in the mind.
Lena holds up her hand. I can actually vouch for him. I've worked with him in the past.
I thought she was volunteering. Damn.
Actually, I did it.
I volunteer for the tribunal.
Solved. So you didn't kill anyone either, Lena.
She squints at you.
Just want to check. You never know. If I don't ask,
Technically, you do an insight check against everybody as long as you get a roll, like as long as you get nat 20s every time.
Let's go.
I mean, yeah, all of
Just
these.
meta our way through a murder
Yeah,
investigation.
no, I have a passive insight of 18. Should check it all these slides.
Fuck off. If you want to go ahead and roll an insight on either fucking Denton or Lena, go ahead.
I feel like I'm not doing my due diligence if I'm not.
It's not your turn.
Well, I'm still hearing this.
That's fair.
Yeah, you can do it. I believe both of them.
Ah, yes, what a good
20. Unnatural 20.
unnatural 20. It seems that there's some history between Lena and Denton,
Ooh.
but not sullied history.
Still, ooh.
Lena begins to name off a few short films that she actually has worked with Denton in the past. She's the reason why she recommended his service to Roger.
All right, well, professional references and all that. It's a who's who business.
Nepotism? Nah, never heard of it. Any other questions? You got one more before we switch over.
I know.
Do you need to review the clues?
No, it's tough because I'm a way better detective than Kyle is. So I need to stay in character.
Well, no, you can still ask the question.
But
Like,
Kyle wouldn't. Yeah, like.
that's fair, but still, like,
He's gonna go over to Honey and.
did you do it?
Say hi.
Did you do it?
She like takes the fan that she has holding for the prop and slaps you on top of the head with it.
That's fair, but not an answer.
No.
Okay, there's an answer. Kyle's gonna sit down.
Back up. All right. So with that, based on everyone reading the room at this point, everyone's kind of like really fucking suspicious about Oscar and Denton, though Norbert, being the rational fucking racist idiot he is constantly staring over at Patty, Mitzi, and Oscar.
Got any thoughts there, Chief?
Yeah, one of the Spelljammers did it.
Oh, you opened up a door to racism. Look what you did.
The door to racism never closes. We must remain forever vigilant.
Oh,
Damn
walked
it.
right into that.
Well, Ford kind of like takes a drag of a cigarette. It is true, these three were off the jammers. And that one over there, he points over at Oscar. As much as I know I have my faculties about me, and that's why I had my my secretaries around for this one in particular. My magically inclined secretaries. That one over there can control minds. But you have no proof that I've actually done it, Mr. Money. Doesn't mean you haven't done it in the first place, Bug.
A very hostile working environment.
That's how you get the best movies out, kid. You put pressure on them. Make them work for it. Make them work for the work. He's very genuine about that. This guy's a prick.
All right, so
I just didn't notice.
Back around. Back around. Question time. Again, this is the very clue-heavy question episode.
gotcha. All right. I will go ahead and walk up to racist McRace Pants.
Norbert.
Yeah, I could have sworn I had on my other sheet that Danny was the racist one, but perhaps I was mistaken.
No, Danny's the deaf one.
Okay, Danny the deaf, Norbert the racist. It rhymes.
Careful.
He, again, He's just very, like, apparently that's his gimmick. His gimmick is that he's very
That's his gimmick. He's racist.
Yeah, his gimmick is
Come on. It's just a talk show host. Just give me it.
You can't.
I'm a comedian.
Not everyone's gonna have that deep characterization.
Yeah.
It's a joke. It's satire.
Yeah.
Guy has some kind of sordid history with folks from Spelljammers, apparently.
Freaking snowflakes. Just. So you have an issue with the space folk, or?
Of course they do.
I mean, they kind of made this planet, right?
No, that ain't the case. They all came here to this planet. They didn't make it. That's more you folk.
Ah, right. I do tend to make
You
that up
are
in a minute.
you are beings of this planet. You are fiction.
Well,
I look at myself.
Me? Yes, sketches are born of fiction. They are not from creatures outside of the realm. They are not of astral, they are not of void, they are purely creatures made from this realm of itself. So you are essentially the humans of this realm.
well, what do you know? The more you learn, eh? Still, though, just because they're different, you think is that why you think they're doing like something like that?
Danny kind of like rolls his eyes, just like he gives off like a sigh that there's obviously something more to this, and Norbert doesn't seem like he's going to budge on the factoid that he wants to give that answer. He's just basically like, nah, it's one of these three, and I'm not gonna budge on this, especially that one. He points to Oscar.
I mean, why do you think that though? Just like they can manipulate.
What Ford just said, mind control. That's a very big contingent on him, apparently. Nyogi are actually known to be able to control the minds of other creatures.
I lean in and just kind of whisper into him.
Is he in there right now?
How the hell would I know?
Then how do you know that you're the one talking?
He looks over at Oscar, reaches for a knife in the back of his fucking...
No. If he's really doing it, he'll see that coming.
You watch as like Betsy kind of like grabs you by the horn and like pulls you
Ow,
back.
ow.
Let's not incite infighting, shall we?
Not trying to incite infighting, just trying to get an insight into his insides.
You know I'm standing right here and you could ask me that, right? Says Oscar.
I'm not trying to get into your head, I'm trying to get in his head, and it was working until ow, my horn.
Alright, up next. Belghast, you have 3 questions.
Kilroy,
Yes!
would you like to check to see if there are any ghosts in the editing room?
No!
Why not? The toilet ghost was fun.
I don't know. Mr. Ford said we're not allowed in there.
Why is Mr. Ford saying you're not allowed, make you not want to go?
Because I want to respect the personal rights of this owned corporation.
But he respects you.
He does?
Yes.
That's fucking crazy.
You want to prove it?
Ford's looking at you this entire time. Ford's just like he's like
I have
the
as much
entire
as-
cigar is now like at the nub.
I'm like totally positioned in a way where it's like if you're staring daggers at me, my neck is burning, but I will not let it phase me.
Blue's just like,
Tell him to drop his pants.
he'd do it.
If you want to know how much Ford respects you, let's go to the editing room and check for ghosts.
Roll a persuasion check.
Advantage, baby, for being cool.
No.
Damn. I said it wrong. I picked up 2 dice anyway.
Not bad.
12. Get back here.
You know, that sounds like a good idea. Betsy, do you want to do that too? Well, I mean, that would help the investigation now, wouldn't it, Kilroy? Oh, boy! Ford, I want to go in the basement and find ghosts. Natural fucking 20.
Yeah! Yeah!
Ford is so bitter. It's like watching someone eat an entire pack of Sour Patch Kids in one gulp.
It's only sour for like the first bite, but
Then they're sweet.
I kind of just
Immediately.
extend one of my talons for Kilroy to grab. Just as like a hand-holding gesture.
He takes your talon.
And then that's when I finally look at Ford.
Fine. I'll open one of the locations down into the editing room, but only for my hired detectives.
Now, Kilroy, I need to be there for the ghost detection.
It's okay, I have my own ways.
But you can't get the ghost to come out and say stuff.
Holds his hand out and the spectral scythe opens. I have my ways!
Then why didn't you do that for the toilet ghost?
Because it was fun seeing you be a magician and not me.
Wouldn't it be fun to see it again? Damn.
It'd be fun to see it again, yeah. But this time I have other things.
Can we see?
Ford, no.
I'm not asking you. I'm just trying to, like I want to see cool things.
Well, Betsy also kind of looks to you. Well, also remember, we are under legal obligation that me and Kilroy are meant to be a part of this investigation. I don't think Mr. Ford likes the idea of the golden pin draping about, and Arden goes, you know what? That's fair. He looks over at Belghast and like nods to you like mouths like don't worry to you.
Very well. Then, I've burned all my questions on Kilroy, haven't I?
No, you have one more.
Okay, I would actually go over to Mitzi. Am I to understand that you are an intern? I'm just trying to check. I know Zap originally was an intern as well. Were you hired together or apart?
She is now flustered about the fact that Norbert accused her, and she's just like, she's covering herself and like her face is just peeking over her wings.
Don't look at him. He sucks. tell me how much experience you have working with that.
He's just standing right there as you say that.
Again, back turned, looking.
Minor illusion over the top of Norbert's head just says racist.
So your question was, how long has she been a...
Well, mainly just in relation to Zap, since they were both interns before Zap was kind of kicked upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Like...
Mitzi got off the Spelljammer. She's again broken kind of like deep speech, but she's getting the message to you. But what you get from her is that she says that she just got off the Spelljammer maybe like 2 years ago, and she really wanted to work here only for the fact that she's just like a fucking huge movie nerd, and that's why she moved to fiction in the first place. So she got an internship here just so she could be around a movie lot and see how it works. And she was hired maybe, I want to say, she doesn't know, but with Zap like standing there and saying it, Mitzi's hire as an intern was about 3 months in between. Like not in between, like 3, he remembers her joining, like he joined like maybe 2 years ago, she joined 3 months after the fact.
Okay. So they weren't together. But...
They weren't together, no. But it seems that Mitzi is very comfortable when looking over at Zap and speaking to him about making sure that her answers are correct. And he's way more actually clear and concise, bouncing off information to her.
Interesting. So she's been working here for...
A year and a half, basically.
Yeah, he's about to say 3 months after Zap and then math, so like 21 months.
Yeah. And they've been working as interns this whole time. But, again, based on what she told you, she's doing it for the love of movies. She doesn't know she's actually getting scammed by Ford.
If only I had a golden pin pamphlet. How unfortunate. Thank you for your time, Mitzi.
Kyle, 3 questions.
Oh boy. I've been trying to think and I honestly don't know.
If you want to go ahead and pass, we can. Like, it's fine.
That sucks, but I don't think I have anything. Yeah.
Okay. Well, with that in case, so Ford will actually abide by the idea of making sure Kilroy and Betsy get to see the editing room. However, he's only allowing them because he hired them to do the investigation, so it only seems natural and fair. He's going to take Bite Size with them, saying that Zap is now in charge and making sure that you three, or you four technically, are well suited to make sure that everything is fine, or like, you know, you don't go off and fuck around. While everyone's kind of like now murmuring amongst each other, there's kind of like, there's a wee bit of infighting. Everyone is still kind of like eyeing at Oscar this whole time. And Oscar is like, doesn't know how to handle it, especially the fact that it looks like fucking Oscar is ready to throw hands with Norbert any second now.
Are, Magic and Glamour going with them?
Magic and Glamour are not, actually. They are being tasked to make sure no one goes into Ford's office.
Damn. There goes that plan.
So I'm going to go ahead and move the characters who are not with you at this current time.
Wait, there they go. Oh, wait, yeah, they went
They're
upstairs.
going upstairs.
Damn.
Bye, Brother Kilroy.
Bye! This voice never gets old!
How could it?
The ringing in my ear.
Which way did they go, by the way?
They seem to have moved outside of the lot. They went towards the back of the lot, and then they disappeared.
So, like, that way, and then...
Yep, well, you assume they went that way. The only thing you saw was them walk through the doors, and then it shuts behind them. So, you are now left under the care of Zap, who is now watching you, who is now basically watching everyone else around here. Arden walks up to you guys, now that you have like a little bit of private time to you, to each of you.
Just us and Zap.
Well, Zap is like watching everyone else. You basically like have like your own little private like circle right now.
Zap, you're the bite size now.
I am? That's so much power.
Use it wisely. Or not, I don't know, I'm not your mom.
If you feel like you need some soda, feel free.
No one will tell.
It's on Ford.
You know what? I'll do
You are
one.
corrupting this poor guy. Come
I'll
on.
do you one better.
Like I said, I really hope he's killing everyone.
All right. So Arden kind of like huddles around you guys. Well, what are we thinking so far?
I really want to take a look at that suit. I feel like we would have something conclusive in that suit as to whether it could have been Oscar or it could have been someone else.
I'm of the same mindset, but the problem is that I don't think Ford's gonna actually bring us to the suit, or at least find some, or have some way to find it.
Well, we know there's a way in without having to go through the door, but we need the vents off.
There's a second way. Patty told us.
That's not the vents?
Through the museum. There's a dumbwaiter going into the museum that leads to the basement. And even if there's not, there has to be another way.
Yeah, maybe the smart waiter.
Remember, there's a whole other section. We haven't even been inside the actual theater yet. At least I haven't. Have you?
Is the concession stand on the other side of the theater? Because if it's that room over there and I point to the room...
Like, you were in the opening, like, area where it's like, it's the opening area to the double doors that leads into the theater, and that was where the banquet hall was.
Okay.
You haven't actually been into the theater yet. The closest you've been to the actual theater so far is when you went up to the second floor. There was a walkway that leads to the balcony area.
So no, we haven't.
Well, that's something to at least look at.
I suppose we could try to find our way to the dumb waiter.
Well, I know Zap is probably going to be following you around, but at the same time, we're going to at least have to split up somehow.
Not if there's a kerfuffle going on in here.
You actually want to incite that?
We also know he
I
likes
started it,
soda.
didn't I?
Or that.
If there's one thing racists know how to do, it's fight pointlessly.
Yep.
We can do it.
Do you feel like anyone here might have actually been a part of this so far? Or at least, I feel like Obviously, I can't fucking trust Ford farther than I can throw him, and I can't because he's a fucking fat hog.
Well, we already know that Marlowe himself thinks Ford did it, but that's unreliable. We have the fact that the gorillas. I don't think we've collected enough evidence to conclusively say the suit was the murder weapon, but there's a lot that seems to be pointing in that direction. Hence why I want to look at the suit. If it's the suit, then that limits it to people who could actively pilot it, or people that could fit. So you have Ford, you have Oscar, you also have, I wouldn't put it past a running gag perhaps being manipulated into it, but that seems unlikely. So
The suit can't be piloted by a mimic, by a running gag, though. The suit has to be piloted by a person. It has no coordination, or so says the goblin.
Well, then there you go. Then either it's Ford, Oscar, or Mitzi, unless something else that we have yet to discover has happened.
Well, here, I was able to scrounge these away from Betsy as a little token of faith for the fact that you saved the goblin. He hands you a picture of the crime scene. It gives you an actual representation of a photograph of the hair, of the synthetic hair from the suit, and the claw marks.
Now, the claw marks are weird. Would the suit have been able to do that? I thought everything it would use, I thought with how big its hand was, everything attack would be like a blunt trauma.
Apparently it has some kind of claw into it, or maybe perhaps something else a part of the suit did it. I know from what the goblin has given some kind of witness to it, it shouldn't be able to do this. So the claw mark is weird, and there's a few creatures here that actually have claw marks.
I mean, His Highness over there certainly seemed afraid for his life for the scene, so...
Unfortunately, I don't want to... He looks over at Norbert. I don't want to be that guy, but... Unfortunately, the human may have a certain point when it comes to the Spelljammers. They all have various sorts of ways to make some kind of claw marks.
I mean, even if the likelihood increases, we still need the suit to prove conclusively that one of them did it.
Then I'll leave this to you then. Go around, maybe tag some people along with you to ease suspicion, maybe take the cloaker and maybe the security officer, and go traipse around trying to find clues.
Well, I don't want to... Mitzi is suspicious. At the very least, she fits the bill of being able to fit into the suit and pilot it, even if that's Oscar's job.
He points over at her wings. Roll a perception check.
Nice.
20.
Cloakers, like what she uses for hands, are 3-pronged claws that kind of like web over her, but her claws are large.
So she wouldn't be able to, like, stick them in the tube. The wing would get in the way.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, but... So we still have the mystery of that slither mark that came up to Marlowe before the murder.
That is strange, and that's why I feel like getting the witness account from the goblin was a good idea, considering the fact that she said that most of the things here are basically running on that kind of mimic slime. So I feel like the running gags have a reason here, but until we find this suit, we can't tell.
Exactly. I think the running gags are playing a role. I'm just not sure what specific role.
All right. Again, I feel like at least a few of us being able to be in different locations would be a smart idea. So I'll stay in the lot. The rest of you find some way to dig up some information or some clues while within the theater. Because that's the least place we've looked so far.
I thought we were gonna go look for the dumbwaiter in the museum.
Yeah, that's
It is in the theater area.
Oh,
Okay.
Plus,
Well, there we go.
We may not want to go to that immediately. If they are going straight to the editing room to look at the suit, we'd just be popping in right on top of them,
Exactly.
which would be awkward.
There'd also be a way for us to overhear what they're going on about. I mean, they're all very secretive about this stuff.
I have a feeling if Kilroy says anything, we'd hear it from here.
You hear it through the vent.
That's a lot of blood!
Oh man, it's everywhere.
Anyway, I agree. So, do we want to start a racist inclined bar brawl?
I mean, we could. That'd be our easiest way to sneak out of here.
Plus, if Oscar dies, that may solve our problem.
Arden,
I'm double.
It wouldn't be us; it would be Norbert doing it. We're aware of the conditions, but if whatever happens outside of our control happens.
Look, is inciting a hate crime a crime?
Yes, Blugen.
Okay.
Yes, it is. Yes, Blugen.
Just double checking. It's not. I'm not saying I was going to. It's just a legitimate question.
You know, as the
Because if so, there are a couple of news networks I'd like to talk to.
yeah, he kind of like hushes to you. You know, as the prince, I kind of like it that you didn't fucking do that.
Then the best I have is distracting Zap by indulging in his soda addiction. Which
he has a soda addiction.
Yes, and he'll probably need company. Just to make sure it doesn't get too sad.
Did you notice how he locked eyes with the cloaker for a little bit?
Oh yeah, no, there's definitely something there. But if we're taking Mitzi with us, then we'd have to get rid of Zap one way or the other. Zap
fair
would-
I don't know. I feel like we need to discuss more with Oscar than anything else. If we could get him to go with us, it would also ease, points over at Racist, his tensions a little.
I'll tell you what. I'll keep an eye on Oscar and Norbert. If you think it's more prevalent to take Mitzi and Zap with you, then I'd say go for that.
That was the opposite of what I just said.
Well, if you feel it's opposite, what do you want to do?
I'm not actually a stranger to that plan. If Zap comes with us, that immediately solves the problem of what to do with Zap. He might be distracted too much by Mitzi to get too hands-on on what we're doing.
Of course, if he goes with us, he'll be in trouble for abandoning his post here.
Well,
I mean, if
and
bite
also,
size takes him out of the equation, that's probably a problem solved later on.
but there's also something else that I wanted to bring up. Remember how this might mean nothing, but remember the whole reason why the cloaker is actually working here? She's a movie buff and she works in the museum. That might give you some kind of clue if you don't know what you're looking for.
We should bring Mitzi.
And I just feel like if we bring Mitzi, then Zap's harder to get rid of, so we might as well bring Zap anyway.
Field trip.
Any disagreement, Blugen?
Yeah, like, let's all come to a consensus here. Out above game.
That works for me.
All right.
All right then. Well,
Sound logic, and that's not what I do.
best of luck. Try to keep away from the dumb waiters as much as possible, or any sort of events. Try to make sure that Ford is not aware of your presence.
Blugen, Belghast just looks at Blugen, looks back at Ford. You really think that's going to work, Micron?
Well, it's gonna have to work now, isn't it?
You put an impossible task on my shoulders, and it's not solving this murder.
But impossible tasks is what we do.
That's your curse to bear, my friend. That's your curse. He pats you on the shoulder.
The P in Blugen P Dragon stands for possible, which impossible is not.
See, it stands for possible. He pats you on the chin.
It really stands for pissing me off.
It stands for many things.
Get to work, friend.
We're gonna need a safe word or something. Okay, Blugen,
I'll
whenever
commit
we say
more wine
pineapple,
crimes if
you
you
gotta
keep doing
stop
that.
whatever you're doing.
It now stands for pineapple.
Oh, and also remember, you have the goblin's catchphrase as well.
I know.
All right, so with that,
Gibbles niggles.
yeah, you are. Let's see. Let's move them off to the side. This is who you're left with.
Out of the racist room. Let's fucking leave, please.
Yeah, no, just Oscar waiting in the corner.
Well, okay, so with that, you guys just saunter on up to Mitzi and Zap and kind of just corner them off to the side to make sure that they're separated.
Well, I don't think we're going to be able to get much done in here. I'm addressing both Mitzi and Zap. Mitzi, I would like to actually follow up on your expertise in film.
Expert. She looks over at Zap. You're very good at movies. She blushes at that.
Yes, no, I was hoping, I know this plot actually has a museum. I was wondering if we might kill some time checking that out.
Oh, yes, very good. Kill?
Eliminate for our free time.
Spend some time.
Oh, she holds up a
like
claw.
spending.
Oh.
You think Ford's a miser? I've seen our budget.
That's why I sleep in a drawer.
All right, so
We have money?
No! We don't have any! Take your exposure and like it!
You guys are getting paid?
This is Zen detective work. That's a deep cut.
Mitzi looks over at Zap. I'm gonna roll something for Zap. Rolls for disadvantage because it's Mitzi, and wow, yeah, no. Mitzi kind of like now like looks over at Zap and like begs if it's actually a good idea because she's actually kind of interested to show people off about the films that she's watched. So with that, they're actually gonna go ahead and take you over.
Hooray!
With that, you guys are then taken to these rooms.
I look at all the shattered glass that I left at the concession stand. Somebody should sweep that up.
Bite-sized, maybe.
No, it'll be my job, says Zap.
Poor Zap.
Sorry, I was trying to make you feel better. I failed.
My life is a constant fucking shakedown.
Well, he's the bite size now, so then.
You are the bite size.
You are the bite size, Zap.
For now.
I'm the one with enormous power, and just like he looks over at Belghast, who's like taller than him. Oh.
Want to talk about tall Mitzi?
As Mitzi leads the way, Belghast will kind of tap Elk and Blugen to get their attention. If there comes an opportunity for us to spread out, you two will be in charge of looking for dumb waiters down. I will keep them busy.
Okay.
Got it.
You sure you want to keep them busy?
Yes.
Like,
By the way,
because the way you use your tongue sometimes isn't the most effective. with people.
I'm great at keeping people busy.
so I want all of you to roll a
Okey-dokey.
perception check, actually.
Okie dokie. That is a 10.
6.
Natural 1.
Natural 1.
All right. So you rolled a 10?
I did.
You were actually looking back at the concession stand that leads into the bar area. When you were saying like, that glass should look, wait a minute. There's something else there. Like there, obviously you like see the imprint where you left your face because you jumped through it.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's just a Blugen-sized hole because I'm a cartoon.
But there's something else added to the fact that wasn't there before, and you don't remember leaving weird claw marks next to the area where you jumped through.
Like scrapes on the glass?
Yes,
Or,
like
okay.
you like it's very minor, but you just at the corner of your eye, just enough to see that there's a scrape mark on the window.
Somebody really needs to clean this up.
With that, you all are giving attention to it.
Just one scratch.
Well, moving on over to it, go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Now that's what you're good at.
Maybe.
In theory.
11.
11? Do it with advantage, because you have something that helps you.
In
Probably should roll a different one.
Ah!
It's 13.
13?
Woo!
Looks very similar to your photograph.
Really?
Yes.
So wait, is even the order of magnitude like the claw? So because I'm thinking if you have that, if the claw came from the gorilla suit, it was larger, but this is like more.
It's more compressed. It's actually like it's smaller, but it's still large enough that like when you get closer to it, it's because the way you were looking at the glass, because of how the glass is made and compromised and comprised. If you look at it from a certain angle, it's not as like big, but when you get in front of it, the claw mark is just as, but not as big as the one in the photo.
So it's the same shape, but still smaller.
Yes.
Okay. That sounds a bit like something we know.
And this is fairly new. You remember that, like, the whole conversation you had talking to Ford and going back, noticing this, took around maybe like an hour and a half worth of time.
And were these claw marks there when we came back down the stairs?
You didn't check.
We didn't get a chance to.
That's
so
fair.
I'm asking.
That's you know what? That is completely fair, and I'm sorry. No, they were not there when you came down the stairwell.
Okay. So they're very new.
Yes, they are recently new claw marks.
Who was No one was missing though. By the time we came down.
By the time you came down, the only people you were with by the time you came down was Glamour, Magic, Oscar, and Ford.
But so we came down with them, but everyone else was already in the lot.
The only people that
Yes.
came back out through this way were Glamour and Magic.
We could ask Zap. He was at the concession.
Oh, that's fair. That's actually fair, because Glamour and Magic came back up to go upstairs to guard Ford's office.
That's right. You know what? It's worth it. Zap.
Yeah. Oh, geez.
Yeah. How long were you at the concession stand before everyone met in the lot?
I'd say 10 minutes, give or take. I did have to account for everyone else around here. I saw Mitzi, and then I came back around this way.
And obviously the claw mark wasn't there by the time you left to go to the lodge.
No, of course not. I was there having a drink.
I have donned the look of a 1950s nail salon stylist, and I'm currently looking at his hands.
Can I help you?
I'm just checking your fingernails, darling. Give me a moment.
Medical check.
Okie dokie. Not something I'm particularly good at unless I roll high, which I kind of did. That is an 18.
Smooth as a baby's ass.
Beautiful, darling. Who does your manicures?
Oh, I get Miss Carla over at the. Wait a minute.
I'll need her number.
I floof away and I'm back into Blugen attire.
The fact that it's the same kind of claw mark but smaller makes me think we're dealing with something that can change size, which runs up into a Namir situation, but we only have 2 of those. And one of them is Brother Kilroy. Oh no.
Mitzi goes ahead and sees now what you guys are like gathering around and like kind of like shrinks down a bit like, oh dear.
Yeah, we're trying to solve the conundrum of who could have made this mark, because it appeared rather recently. Did you were waiting in the lot with everyone else before we came down with Ford?
No, I was. Well, yes. When you came down with, she basically tells you, while you guys went to go take care of Ford, Zap came to retrieve her and took her into the office, and took her into the lot.
So the only people that came back this way were the lovely ladies upstairs, and while those kittens have claws, I'm not sure if these are the type of claws they have.
Also, the question would be just why? Why leave the claw mark here? What were they trying to do?
Should we check if glamour magic okay?
I mean, I think they're fine, but I guess we should.
Everyone roll a perception check.
Would give me an excuse to try out something I wanted to try out a little.
Perception is a modified 20.
Natural 1 for a 3.
16.
You're deep in thought. You're just like, how could this be? Whereas everyone else around you, you hear from upstairs, like a sizable thud, and then almost what feels like a feminine muffled scream.
Blugen starts.
Can you keep it down? We're trying to.
That sounds like a job for us.
I start going upstairs. I was about to say Blue Dragon Detective Agency, but then realized we're not allowed to.
New map, sorry. I didn't have time to clean this up.
Ford?
Ford.
What are you doing here? Oh,
I was gonna say, as I come upstairs, I was going to.
Let me clean this up because this isn't real. This is not real.
Nothing's real.
Nothing's real. Let me
Give
roll.
us realistic things in fiction.
Let me roll something. Okay, so it's. And sorry, I had to do this all in one take. I actually forgot that this should have possibly been done while I was fucking around with you guys before.
I learned to accept your apology.
Shut up, Tyler.
I apologize to everyone except
I apologize
for
for nothing, Tyler.
Ah!
And
I've
then.
sworn the most here. I can't believe it.
Remember, Zito, he controls the camera angles.
Yeah, that's right.
This bitch!
Oh, no. No, don't. Not for our viewers, our loyal viewers.
The view for Zito has changed to only above.
Yeah.
It's just his hat.
Yeah, right. So at this point, you guys run upstairs. The doorway's closed, so that's like not there anymore. But you notice that a couple of the busts that were above the waterfall have actually like been turned over, and some of the wood, none of the wood, the stone that was holding up the pedestals is kind of like fallen over. And off in the corner, Magic is on the floor, like laying on her side, and it looks like she was pushed away. Like there, like where the grass is, it looks like there's like, you know, in DBZ when someone dragged across the floor and there's that like street
Okay, so
mark.
like there's a she got like knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, and got pushed over.
Huh.
Blugen's going to rush towards her. Even though he knows for a fact that the topiary doesn't quite enjoy being stepped upon.
Yeah, the moment you step in there, roll a dexterity saving throw.
Belghast will walk along the path.
That is a modified 20.
Wow, that's actually kind of crazy because the moment you step into the grass, you actually you hear like whirring clicks, and one of the statues that weren't taken down actually turns and looks towards you. It opens its mouth, and there's a rune of frost that is staring at you. You duck just out of the way as a cone of cold blasts out.
Psh, not now!
A sign saying keep off the grass would suffice.
Just killed a lot of the topiary with that one, really.
So you kind of like meander your way over towards her. Where's everyone else going at this
Which
point?
one is this one? Magic or glamour?
This is magic.
Yeah, I'm also going over to her, but I'm taking the long way.
I'm following Belghast.
Magic, are you okay?
Magic looks like she has been... Well, actually, go ahead and roll a medicine check.
I will give her mouth to mouth. Because it's funnier that way. Medicine 18?
She has suffered some kind of blunt force trauma to the back of her head.
Okay, mouth to mouth will not help with that one.
She is... I'm gonna put this down. She's not dead, but she's still breathing.
I think there are better symbols for unconscious.
Yeah, that's fair. There you are. It's over Blugen, though, unfortunately. There you go.
There.
What even is it?
Zoom in. We
It's
can
a
zoom in.
down. Oh, never mind.
Enhanced
Okay.
computer.
It's a little
Wow,
face.
these tokens must be massive if that thing's that small.
Wow. Yeah, I can't even... It's a beauty mark.
It's essentially like a face mask.
It's a little face
Ah.
mask, yeah.
Sleepy face.
So she is knocked unconscious. You could feel you feel breath near her face. She's actually breathing still, but she has been fucking cold clocked up the side of the head.
She's alive. Where's Glamour?
That's a good question.
Glamour! I just shouted out.
That does nothing.
Good work.
Well, that's obvious. That's the first thing you try to do when you want to look for someone.
Zap has medicine training actually because he works for the lot, but let's go ahead and see if he can wake her up because she's actually unconscious.
I did get an 18 on my medicine check.
Oh, you did get an 18.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Well, I mean, you also found out she's not fucking dead and she just got a blunt force hit. Like, she's down, but she's not out. She probably needs some, like, HP or something.
Of which I have 0 things that...
You have no capability.
I mean, I guess I would have
so-
tried to stabilize her, but...
You know what? Sure. Go ahead and roll me another medicine check.
Okie dokie.
I can like put some divination cards around her.
17.
17? Strangely enough, the fucking, like, you, of all people, like, actually, like, have not only discerned the problem, but yet somehow, like, with your magical expertise, you're actually able to, like, use your magic that's basically, that comprises you, and you, like, wave it over her hand.
Live, damn it! Live! Smack! Smack!
Yeah, you know what? Sure, that works. She wakes up, she grabs your wrist and like starts like coughing, but she's delirious.
She's alive!
She is not okay though. She is just like when she lifts her head, her like neck is convulsing back and forth, almost like how a snake slithers. Like she is completely delirious right now.
What happened to you? Can you see? Did you see your attacker? Hello?
I prestidigitation to cool her down. Just
There you go. Just calm down. It's fine.
Can't. She's now mumbling her words. Something big. Heard Glamour scream and then pushed to the side.
Where'd Glamour go?
She can't remember because all she remembers is hearing a muffled scream and then being knocked aside.
Well, this sounds like a great chance to check out Ford's office. Belghast will step back and look into the office. Maybe Glamour went there!
I mean, you can check your surroundings too.
I'm checking my surroundings by looking into Ford's office.
Maybe someone wanted something in Ford's office.
Yeah, no, clearly Ford's office is in danger. I will go check to see if Ford's office is being burgled.
Burgled.
Okay.
Meister Burger.
Zap is gonna stay by her side, I guess. You
Yeah.
go inside. You walk inside of Ford's office. The moment you do, You step inside and notice that there is a plate glass window that stretches all the way across the entire end here. I believe you can see up to 60 feet. But asking to do that on this computer is like asking not to be shot by a mugger. So,
I mean, sometimes you can beg.
Yeah, you can beg.
Come on, roll 20, please. You can do it.
So, this office. The office itself looks completely clean. There is oh god.
There we go.
I got it.
The moment you walk in and look down the hallway, you can see that there's everyone in the lot where you last left them. It looks like Arden is trying to keep Norbert and and Oscar from engaging in a fight.
Good distraction.
Mm-hmm. There doesn't seem to be any sort of like broken in objects around here. Everything like seems kind of opulent, and it looks like this is like a conference area for people to watch or look at the lot.
So no desk or anything?
Nothing seems to have been overturned. Like there's like a couple of desks like going in the back, but there's another room all the way down if you keep looking. Like you could just make out a door that leads into 2 offices.
Well, clearly Glamour was taken in this direction. I run over to the end of the room.
You into the room? All right.
This is gonna go great, guys. I have a great feeling about this. This is gonna blow the case wide open.
You run past one other door until you reach the entire back of another door. Oh my god, show yourself.
Show yourself.
You burst in through the door.
Glamour, I'm here.
There is a giant desk that is like only big enough to fit Ford himself. And it's high, like think King Yama.
Mahogany.
Yep, mahogany. There is paperwork on his desk. There are 2 seats sitting off to the side. And there is a filing cabinet off to the very north of where you're looking.
Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. Glamour! Are you here? I need to make sure Glamour has not been stashed anywhere in this desk. And I go over to the desk and I immediately start trying to rifle through it.
All right, roll an investigation check.
All right, this is the new dice, but this is also the one that rolled 2 nat 1s last session, so fingers crossed. 10, 16.
10, 16?
Get here.
10, 16.
16.
All right. Oh, 16.
You're just 16.
Right. With a 16, you notice that there is paperwork. There is paperwork inside his desk that mentions the 4 previous movies that actually have been shot in this lot. The Great Goofus Gallivant, The Little Cecilia, Divided by Void, and Given Meaning. Those are the titles of the folders.
Divided by Void was a cult classic.
Skipping through most of them, a lot of them seem to be like taken out from like another file. Like these 4 things don't look like they belong in this desk. Like they are massive files in comparison to everything else in here. They are like filled to burst with paperwork.
Imagine it would take a lot of time to get through these files. I open the Goofus Gallivant to a random page.
The Great Goofus Gallivant, you start thumbing through it. It looks like there was a lot of controversy when it came to actually making this film, and there was a lot of critic reviews. There's actually a lot of reviews in here that look like they were clipped out of newspaper articles and placed in here, almost kind of like in a weird ransom note kind of way.
All right, then I'll give Given Meaning a thumb through as well.
Same thing. All paper clippings of reviews and controversy. Some of them actually leading towards a missing file case of a Mr. Kingfisher. If you want to roll a history check, that'd be great.
I'm good at those.
In theory.
Let's see. That's a 19. Then 28.
For some reason, you have a pulse on movies, and despite the fact that you're a fucking, manic mess.
Everything's part of the story.
Everything's part of the story, yep.
Part of the conspiracy.
you were not a part of this case, but you remember that this kind of shook the center industry, the center tower industry, that a critic has gone missing.
That being Mr. Kingfisher?
Yes. And in one of these, actually in one of the files for this film, there is a big invoice for a lot of magical items brought in from the Star Kingdom, the Starry Kingdom.
Any particular magic items standing out, or is it just like
with that check you have gotten? It looks like there was some sort of divination and teleportation rune.
That's an interesting thing.
And it's meant to actually be put into a machine.
That's alarming. So it's was it two separate runes, divination?
Two separate runes. The ones that stood out to you was a divination rune and a teleportation rune. And the teleportation rune is meant to go inside of a device.
Okay. Sorry.
The word projector is being used a lot in this info.
Okay. There's teleportation and divination?
Yes.
Okay. Is the filing cabinet unlocked?
You're rifling through it, basically.
Oh, okay. I thought I was still at the desk. I thought the filing cabinet was separate. Okay, Belghast feels like he's probably taken up enough time in here.
Yeah, let's go back to everyone else.
Everyone else just standing there like...
Yeah, so you guys are near...
This is more of a meanwhile sort of thing.
Yeah, you guys are near Magic's body. What are you doing?
Well, she's conscious-ish.
She's
now.
conscious-ish. She's like kind of like fumbling around, but she can't really like do anything.
So we did hear a thud. We know that Glamour is theoretically somewhere.
There looks like there was a battle or some kind of struggle that took place in the garden. That a lot of the actual traps that triggered when you stepped on there have been toppled over or broken.
I feel like, can Kyle go over to the right up there to see?
That is not a room. That is actually an office that goes into Ford. But when you do actually go up that way, roll a perception check.
You just see Belghast go into the file. Where is it?
It's that fan art. That
6 plus
what was it?
wisdom.
Oh, was
Yeah,
it?
well, perception, yeah.
Perception is 0, so 6.
6?
Yeah.
It's too dark to see anything down the hallway unless you have something else.
I have dark vision.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
That's excellent. Do it with advantage.
Oh, okay.
Or you just travel further down the hallway.
Yeah, that's weird. A human with dark vision.
Yeah.
It happens.
11, I guess.
11?
Yeah.
You see a squat, large humanoid actually stop, lurch over its shoulder, and it has a body slung over its shoulder, and it runs into a two-door hall entryway. Let me go ahead and reveal area. It looks down at you. It has gleaming red eyes, 4 arms, and almost reaches its head on top of the ceiling, and yet somehow, like, deftly jumps through the double doors to the side of it.
Hey, stop! Please?
You give chase, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun,
Hey, if you could just maybe put her... No, hey!
Well, everyone, Mitzi, who's big enough, is gonna take Magic over the shoulder and like cradles her as they go down the hallway. Zap follows.
Oh, hey, wait!
Behind you, you see silhouettes of everyone because there's a window behind you where the office is. It's like darkened glass.
What the blazes?
You see silhouettes run past.
He's gonna think that's his sign to bug out the other way. So he's going back into the long room.
Through muffled, you can hear me.
Oh no, okay. So I am way behind, but I'm trying to catch up.
Hey,
If I see them not in the foyer, I'm gonna go, okay, that was them.
Okay.
Kyle definitely would have busted through that door.
Well, Kyle is giving chase. You notice as the large figure and like the little bit of like Glamour's hair go down the hallway that leads from the balcony area back into the theater. Or back into the museum area.
Hey, I don't think you heard me. I said stop.
So you're all giving chase?
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and switch you guys over.
Aha. Aha.
You're back over that way.
Aha.
Let me grab her. She's with you. As you guys run down the giant staircase, you actually see a large formed creature with 4 arms. With her body slung over. The creature that gives form is very hairy and has a silver tint to its body.
Where is this creature presently?
As you go down the stairwell, you see it entering into the museum area.
As we get down the stairwell, hold on a second here.
Mm-hmm.
Let me find.
Yeah, you all basically have like one thing you could all possibly do at this given moment.
Why can't I find the... basically, as it opens the door to the museum, I'm casting Major Illusion, and on the other side of the door is going to be Ford, standing there, scowling. Major Illusion, so...
Mm-hmm.
Just...
Alright, what do I have to roll to fight against it?
I'm pretty sure it needs...
My gut is telling me an intelligence saving throw.
I don't think it's a saving throw per se. Let me...
To perceive that it's a actual thing?
I think it's either insight or perception against my spell ace or spell DC.
Okay. Well, okay, does a 13 beat it?
No, it in
It
fact
does
does
it?
not. I don't
Well-
think so.
Well, you
So
startled...
Ford is standing there.
Yeah, you startled this creature enough that when it like lurches in, it kind of tries to brush past this fake image of Ford, but it conceives that it's still there, so he's like trying, but enough that he actually drops Glamour in the instance. So Glamour hits the floor.
We're not close enough that I could possibly roll.
No, you guys, like at this point, you guys are still at the staircase.
So like we made it stumble and drop Glamour, but then it kind of jukes and
Yeah, it still kind of like uses its brute force to be like, "Ooh!" and like pushes its way through.
Razzin' frazzin' kids! Money!
So
I hate people! Grrr, sexism!
well, before we actually have it go through the museum doors, is there anything you two want to do while you still have sight of it?
I want to say, and this is backtracking a bit, so I do apologize. While I'm running through the plexiglass section that connects Ford's office back to the foyer, I am going to look down to see who's still in the lot.
Roll me a perception check.
Come on, Scanlan, die! Don't fuck me. 13.
The only people that catch your eye mostly out of everyone is Arden, Oscar, and Norbert, while everyone else is kind of like a blur in the corner. So those 3 you can see in the lot.
Okay.
So for all intents and purposes, everyone else is still there, to the best of your knowledge.
But I can only specifically confirm those 3.
Yes.
Got it.
Can I roll to any kind of perception check to see if I can see anything more while it's in my vision? Or
Sure, go ahead.
16?
16? No, unfortunately, you're just getting a giant gorilla man with 4 arms.
Okay.
It's moving so fast, it's like a Sam Squanch. It's blurring every time you look at it.
It's the picture.
Yeah, it's... Okay, so with that, you all kind of just like meander your way over towards Glamour, who's knocked out, and fucking poor, well, not so much Zap, but Mitzi is very frazzled about this. She's like hovering over her, almost like protecting her, like almost how like a bird would protect its kids.
Would we still be continuing to pursue this gorillan?
Well, Zap is going to. So you could follow in after him if you want.
Yeah,
That
I want to.
seems to be the primary thing to do.
Yeah.
Mitzi is going to continue to hold on to everyone as you guys enter in.
I run past the major image of Ford. Low five! It lowers its hand.
You're so cool, Blugen. I'm gonna go ahead and just say this over the meta. You actually fucking saved her.
Yeah!
You guys are getting good endings left and right and center. This is amazing.
Also,
If we had
also,
just stayed there and inspected the claw mark, though, how much closer we would have been to solving this mystery.
Also, a tiny bit of information. The fact that it reacted that way to seeing Ford, didn't immediately realize it was an illusion, kind of tells me that it might not be Ford in that suit.
And our biggest suspect, Oscar, was still in the lot.
And the other big person that could have piloted it is right there.
Well, remember, Mitzi, as Zito covered earlier, Mitzi can't, like, she's big enough to fit, but the wings would have gotten in the way.
Like she can pilot 2 of the hands, but not 4 of them.
Of course, if there is somebody doing like mind control bullshit, then
So
this goes on all sorts of directions.
So, of course, there's the open gray question of I may have missed someone in the lot, but we have the people still in the lot. We have Zap and Mitzi with us. So, and Magic and Glamour were, of course, the victims of the attack. So we have Ford, Kilroy, Betsy, and Bite Size, who were ostensibly heading to the editing room.
Of course, we also know that Magic and Glamour can manipulate minds as well, so this could be like a false flag sort of thing. Who
And
knows?
Oscar could have done something. We don't know the full scope of his power.
Yeah, that was actually never brought up. No one actually questioned that, so that's a big factor.
Everyone back to the parlor.
No.
We're chasing a gorillan next time at the table.
Well, really? I wasn't
it's
done
8
yet.
o'clock.
I wasn't. Oh, but I wasn't done
Oh,
explaining
fair
things.
enough. Feel free to.
Yeah. Like we didn't get to the point where I actually told you guys what the fuck is going on.
But now
All right.
Zito gets to say next time at the table, because that's what we know.
You guys enter into a darkened room, past the fake image of Ford. As you do so, I assume that Zap enters in first. You guys watch as Zap kind of like enters into the darkness. You hear him go, "Wait, what?" You hear a slap, and then nothing.
What's that?
I can't help but laugh, though.
However, you do hear almost as if like a projector is whirring.
Uh-oh.
You look off to your right, and you notice that there in fact is a projector whirring. Off on the side of the wall, there's a projector with a stand that looks like it has 4 films on it, 4 film reels.
Oh, no.
Everything else in this room is like cluttered with shit that hasn't been like accounted for. There's a bunch of props, but a lot of the props actually look like there's bits of jungle, there's bits of oceanic scenery, there's bits of what looks like spell jamming equipment, and there's also what looks like almost looks like a doll or a figurine of a woman with a sword in her hand. And there's a lot of like Renaissance-y kind of kingdom-y kind of like equipment around that person. And these are all surrounding the table that has the 4 film reels in it. And the last you heard Zap's voice was near that.
I can't see shit.
I'm missing the movie.
Kyle could probably see.
Well, I mean, no, you all can see because the light of the projector is shining down on this. You can see the 4 reels.
Oh, but we don't see Zap.
You don't see Zap. Zap is gone. Mitzi is now like fucking losing her mind, just like, wait, what? She's like calling out for Zap, and she's walking
Can
like
we
around.
see what the projector is projecting? Or do we have to,
It is pure static at this point. It looks like a damaged film reel is constantly on loop.
Well, we can fix that. Are titles on the film reels?
Yes.
Film
One of the
reels.
film reels is The Great Goofus Gallant, The Little Cecilia, Divided by Void, and Given Meaning.
So all the things that one critic panned.
one of the film reel, well, each of the film reels have like descriptions on them. The Great Goofus Gallivant, an adventure film about an expedition into the jungle and find the mythical Goofus bird. It's a real fucking cryptid.
A real fucking cryptid.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, I know, right? The Little Cecilia, a grindhouse film about a Cecilia who offered her voice to gain power, to gain revenge on merfolk that killed her family.
That's racist.
Divided by Void, a sci-fi film of a spell-jamming captain who is trying to save his daughter from the evil Lord Blivion. And the third film, Given Meaning, a story of a woman who is renewed as a throw, but discovers her lover is being seduced by an imposter.
So actually, bigger question: the film that's already in the projector, is it like a?
There is no film. It's like a running reel. It's running like a continuous loop of damaged film. When you look at the projector that's on the side of the wall, it's just the camera that puts the film on the wall on the other side. The reels are right next to what should be the projector. So somehow the screen is on, it has Damaged Realm running, but for some reason the projector is in the middle here and it has to have the film slotted into it.
The divination and perhaps even the teleportation runes. Elk, can you give me let's start from the beginning. The Great Goofus Gallivant.
Sure.
You pick up the film?
Yeah.
You guys watch as Kyle picks up the film. His entire being starts to fade away from existence.
I don't feel so good.
The more he stands in there with the film, the more his body fades away.
Let it go.
Cal drops it.
Roll a dex save.
Dex.
Oh, no.
It's not good.
Ooh. Oh no.
It would be up here, whatever the saving throw says.
Oh, +2s. That's 4.
Yeah, you stop and look to your companions. They're all kind of mouthing, but you're hearing static in your ears. Yeah, and you go, wait, what? And a beam of light flashes before you, and you are fucking gone. The film reel floats. You watch as there's a divination rune in the center of the film reel, and it floats into place and locks into the projector.
Damn it, I knew I should pick the
Blugen
sci-fi
grabs
one.
one kernel of popcorn.
I should have picked Divided by Void. Well, Mitzi, you always wanted to be in film. Do you mind?
Mitzi is unfortunately way too big, and she's actually standing in and making a shadow on the wall. Her wing is fading away, and the rest of her goes.
Yay! Okay.
Wait, she was holding magic and glamour. Are
They're gone too.
Well, go after them.
I dive into the light. Yeah!
Well, unfortunately, that means next time at the table, we will be entering the Great Goofus Gallivant.
The Great Goofus Gallivant.
What?
Next
I'm not
time
going.
at the
I'm just watching the show. Belghast out of the story now.
he picks up Blugen's bucket of popcorns.
Blugen. No, I'm going to go ahead and say, as the DM, Belghast is like, at last, silence. And then you watch as, like, Blugen's hand from the fucking projector grabs him. No!
You have to come. You're never going to believe it.
And that's where we'll stop.
It's your kids, Marty.
Oh, God, no. Blugen, what did you do?
It's your kids, they're goofuses!
Nick, you want to write it down?
Yes. What time you? Well, actually, no. We got art to show off before we do that.
Yes, we do.
Oh, yeah.
Ace of Spades 1 here.
Oh yeah.
Spotlight never goes out on those who have the spotlight in their hearts.
Hell yeah. Blugen wants to give you a high five.
Alright, let's bail out of that. Next is from ARA Arts and Games.
ARA Arts and Games.
I gotta reveal that little bit of area so it doesn't fucking cut it out.
I just took a bribe.
That coin is so big.
Yeah, that's a huge fucking Arden coin, of all things.
Oh yeah.
I love the detail that they actually got the head on the coin.
Yeah.
Well, I was about to say, why is no one questioning that it's Arden then at that point? Oh wait, that's right, he changed his face.
Yeah, he's a pug now.
Yeah.
Pug boy.
Micron
Yeah, he's got
the
breathing
pug.
issues.
Alright, next up is FW Froggies.
FW Froggies. Hey.
Making it bigger.
Yes, I saw this one. This fucking rules.
Yeah, that's great.
All my characters have cannons.
Characters a certain someone here has played.
It's the canon of canon.
Yeah. All of my characters do have cannons because I voiced Vinyl in like her base cannon.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then we have Sarah's, and then we got Kyle. Thank you so much. This rules.
Sarah and Kyle would be friends.
Yeah, they go along.
Alright, get ready for a large pull of Mocking Moth, our official artist.
Oh yeah.
I saw these tweets. They're pretty good.
This one is their take on a, okay, well, no, it's not, because, there we go.
From Mocking Moth, here's...
This is apparently their idea of a sketch character.
Oh,
this
so,
is
like-
a sketch from Mocking Moth.
Oh, those worms on a string.
Yes.
That's amazing.
I love that. I love that as a knife in its mouth.
It's a that's.
Oh, it's a whole
great.
coat of them.
It's a coat of worm on a string.
It's got a knife too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The worm is off the string. I repeat, the worm is off the string.
He's got a knife.
And they're also her hair.
Yeah.
What do you got there, Wormy? No!
Alright, next up from Mocking Moth as well. If,
Next, also from Mocking Moth.
please.
Say thank you to Brother Kilroy.
Let's summon toilet goblins, I guess.
Bits and pieces from last episode.
I have to pee.
The cup returns.
I love his face. It's,
I like how Brother Kilroy looks like he's in a fucking overalls that a baby would wear.
Yeah.
He's in a onesie.
Uh,
It's
Chucky-
easier
yeah, a
when
little
he has
Chucky.
when he has accidents, you know.
Yeah, a little Chucky onesie.
next is... Oh,
Another
yeah,
from
titty
Mocking Moth.
Titty too big for cat flap.
Too big.
Patty's
for cat flap.
here.
My boy is too top heavy.
Barrel chested. I know those issues.
And a fucking, and a running gag.
I didn't realize why, like, people who do strength training and stuff, they cut the sleeves off the shirts. And I didn't realize until I started getting wider. Oh, it's because it just doesn't fit. It's not to show off the muscles. It's literally just because these shirts...
It's uncomfortable when you're trying to lift things, like, in
Yeah.
different angles.
And also just existing. Like,
Yeah.
I have to cut off the sleeves because I am just too wide now to fit in my old shirts.
As
One
somebody
more
who has
from
been
Mocking Moth.
perpetually broad-shouldered, it is.
Help!
Bite size and Blugen.
What would have happened if she got a nat 20 on that strength check to break the glass?
Help!
I can hear the squeak.
She just couldn't wait.
She just can't keep her hands off me.
Next is from Oakthorn.
From Oakthorn.
Oh yeah, this made the rounds.
Oh shit, that's amazing.
Wow. That rules.
Yeah, I saw a preview of this on my own Discord. It's pretty fucking rad.
Kyle looks so somber. You have that gun, but you don't want to use it.
I've killed so many mimics.
He's like, hey, come on down to the show.
I like the attention to detail that they actually made, like, the tower in the middle there.
Oh yeah, that's
Like,
great.
I kept saying there's, like, an opulent tower where all the 1% live, and I'm like, oh, fuck, he actually got it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love his this area, whatever.
The forearm?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
no,
fucking
that's a
meaty.
gun show.
Mm.
You know, regular bare-ass human.
Yeah.
Next is from Sheen Shadow Art,
Sheen Shadow Art.
or it would be. Here it is.
Hey, Rubber Hose Blugen.
All ready for Smash.
Woo!
There was a black and white version and a film grain version of this too, but, you know, for this... After what just happened tonight with me trying to get this fan art to work. Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is great. I love him.
My boy.
Well, you got one more, Nick.
One more. Oh boy.
Last one from Tom Carter, 1989.
Tom Carter, 1989, drops us.
Please. Yeah, there you are.
Yeah, I retweeted this one. I love this one.
Hello.
When nat ones do you right.
She mad.
Oh, of course. It's why Blugen would do it, because it's funny.
The sunglasses are off. That's how you know. She's
I know that. I was about to say that. Sunglasses are down. There is pain coming.
You have such beautiful eyes.
Well, that's everything.
And that is that. Well, thank you all so much for joining us here. It's been great hanging out with you guys, and we'll see you next week for a Halloween one-shot, and the week after, we shall jump in to the Goofus and Gallivantery. Until then, did the lights just...
Yes,
oh,
no,
dark
sign
again.
us out.
Oh no, we're fading away! Goodbye!
As dark as I can get it apparently.